love it because it has become a home.
Gord Turner Renovations. They do renovations differently. Visit GordTurner.com.
Win or lose, touchdown or turnover, JDS Energy and Mining is proud to support local sports in Kelowna. They believe it's important to put youth at play where they can learn to be leaders. They believe in the habits and values learned from working in a team. They believe the skills today youth learn in organized sports will strengthen our community. JDS Energy and Mining, a proud community partner of local sports in Kelowna and your Okanagan Sun.
Orchard Plaza, the perfect fit for you. Stores and services, all you need to suit your Okanagan lifestyle. When you're busy and on the go, make your time worthwhile. So much more than just a mall. Orchard Plaza has it all. Orchard Plaza, the perfect fit for you. Orchard Plaza, Orchard Plaza, the perfect fit for you.
Kelowna, July is Magnum Month at Popeyes. Popeyes. Want more protein and less carbs? Get into Popeyes and ask about Magnum Quattro. It may be one of the best tasting protein shakes you will ever have. Magnum is also proud to introduce Instincts, a new male personal performance product designed to increase pleasure and vigor both on the field and in the bedroom. Like Popeyes Kelowna on Facebook to keep up to date on sales and new products. Popeyes on Springfield across from Orchard Park Shopping Center. Official supplements provider to Sun Football and the Kelowna Rockets.
If it's time for a new ride, your timing is perfect. The summer heat means melting prices at Kelowna Auction World. Come turn on the car you really want. Heat up your summer with a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles on the auction block and ready to drive home. Auction starts this Saturday at 10 a.m. at Kelowna Auction World, Highway 97 North.
This is Okanagan Sun Football. Hear it, live it on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl. We're just ahead of the home opener here for the Okanagan Sun on their 2017 campaign. It is the Westshore Rebels in town in a big rivalry match for the Sun team as they face the team that knocked them out of the BCFC championship game last season. Here with color commentator, new for this season as well, Carson Park. Carson, happy once again to have you here. Let's go back just to that home opening game. What do you remember as a player getting ready, getting pumped up for the home opener? Did you have kind of extra nerves heading into it? What was that like?
I guess there was a little bit of extra nerves in the home opener, but especially for the guys who are new, the first-year guys, especially big. And having just talked about earlier about the matchup of the Sun linebacking core versus the Westshore O-line that's mostly revamped and seeing how the O-line rises to the challenge on that side of the ball, I'm excited to see how the other side matches up too. The Sun have a pretty strong history of having phenomenal individual O-linemen, but that O-line unity is something that's evaded them pretty consistently. So it'll be interesting to see if they can find that unity, that cohesion. And on the offensive line for the Sun, I believe they have a newcomer who is a hockey player. It's his first year playing tackle football. So it's going to be interesting to see how he matches up against the defensive line of Westshore, coached by ex-Sun D-line coach Jamie Clausen. And talking to him before the game, he was just casually commenting on how this is the strongest and deepest D-line he's ever coached. So it'll be really interesting to see both how that allegedly all-Canadian linebacker core goes against the Westshore O-line and how the very strong Westshore D-line matches up against the Okanagan Sun O-line. Those are going to be some good battles. I expect a defensive fight today. Yeah, they certainly are. And, I mean, it's an interesting point because a lot of the talk around the offseason has been what Westshore has lost, but it's a good point. Their defense is gearing up to be a good unit this year, and they've had some key guys return there as well. Well, both teams are on the field. We're going through the starters over the public address system here. What we'll do is we'll take one final break. We'll come back. Opening kickoff is next between the Sun and the Rebels here from Kelowna.
This is a public safety message from the Government of BC. Prepare in advance for a potential wildfire evacuation alert or order. Develop a household plan, get an emergency kit, and connect with your neighbors. Learn more at bcwildfire.ca.
Paul Elledge, homeowner.
I'm an outdoors guy. I love kayaking and cross-country skiing, but facing the elements the moment I rolled out of bed was a little too much.
Paul replaced his drafty old windows with Milgard windows from Nagy Brothers Windows and Doors.
They come in custom sizes so they fit in any opening. In a couple of days, no more outside noise.
For a free home estimate, visit NagyBrosWindows.ca. Milgard replacement windows from Nagy Brothers Windows and Doors in the new Home Build It Center, Byland Road, West Kelowna.
Win or lose, touchdown or turnover, JDS Energy and Mining is proud to support local sports in Kelowna. They believe it's important to put youth at play where they can learn to be leaders. They believe in the habits and values learned from working in a team. They believe the skills today youth learn in organized sports will strengthen our community. JDS Energy and Mining, a proud community partner of local sports in Kelowna and your Okanagan Sun.
Rona is a proud sponsor of your Okanagan Sun and a strong community supporter. They're ready to help you tackle every project you've got. Think Rona for every job, from renovating the house to upgrading the bathroom. Whether it's a huge undertaking or just a small fix-up, they have the products, the prices, and the expertise you need to get the job done right. Visit Rona.ca and tackle every project with Rona. Doing it right. 1711 Springfield Road. Proud sponsor of your Okanagan Sun.
It's employee pricing at Orchard Ford. And right now, you pay what Ford employees pay on Canada's best-selling line of trucks for 51 years. You get employee price adjustments. Plus, eligible Costco members can get an additional $1,000 towards most new F-Series. Tough, smart, capable, undisputed. Employee pricing is back at Orchard Ford on Highway 97 North across from Scandia and at orchardford.com.
This is a public safety message from the Government of BC. Prepare in advance for a potential wildfire evacuation alert or order. Develop a household plan, get an emergency kit, and connect with your neighbors. Learn more at bcwildfire.ca.
AM 1150, it's Kelowna's home for BC Lions football. Don't miss a second of the action as Wally Buono's Leos take on the best of the CFL with Grey Cup on their minds. BC Lions football on AM 1150. You're listening to Kelowna's information station, CKFR, a division of Bell Media. We are AM 1150. News, talk, and sports. You're listening to Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl as we're getting set for kickoff between the Sun and the Rebels. Evan Cook speaking to you in a bit of a hushed tone here as the crowd's actually leading the singing of the national anthem, and they're just wrapping up here before we get to kick off the big sun, or the big flag of the sun, rather, firmly planted in midfield. Right now is the crowd giving themselves a bit of a hand for leading off that "Oh Canada, hey, why not?" We're getting ready to go here at the Apple Bowl. Let's look to midfield, I guess, as we're getting ready.
Of the captain's coming out.
For the coin toss. We can take this opportunity to go through some of the starters, at least for the Sun, on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, we've talked about the starting quarterback, Keith Zyla. He, in his fourth year here with the Sun, and split the time with Foster Martin's quarterback last year, but he is the guy here for the Sun going forward. So Zyla, who had a good season last year, picked up 724 yards in passing, 45.2% accuracy rate. Zyla getting the start at quarterback for the Sun here. Receivers here, number 7, Liam Crane. This is the third year for the Sun, out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Crane mostly got into special teams duty last season, returned kicks 12 times for a total of 223 yards there. Of course, another wide receiver, Kyler Mosley. He also in his fourth year along with Zyla here for the Sun. As I pause in the starting lineup just to look out.
Coin toss just finishing up here. A little interesting with the gray on grays we got going on today.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. For those who are listening on the radio here and can't see, we've got new uniforms for the Sun this year, kind of a dark gray. They've got orange numbering to go with those orange helmets.
Almost a charcoal or something. I don't know. I'm not a color expert.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, yeah, Westshore, I think those are new too, I was hearing.
Yeah, exactly.
Much lighter gray, but...
Much lighter gray, but you're right. The primary colors of...
Gray and orange versus gray and red is, yeah, not the most distinctive, I'm sure.
Gray on
Quarterbacks
gray.
are going to have a fun day.
Yeah, so we'll see what we can do here in terms of identifying players. It shouldn't be too bad, really.
No,
the Sun have those bright orange letters on these new jerseys with the white outlines, which makes it easier for us up here in the booth. And for the Rebels, like we say, primarily gray and red, but they've got those big black letters on the back for them there.
Who do we got kicking off here? Sun are kicking off to our...
Yeah, Sun now kicking off here. That...
Is that Isaac Wegner? Kicking?
Yeah, it looks like Wagner down there to set that ball up on the tee. He's kicking off from the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
And in the air, here we go. Sun football back officially for another season in this BCFC campaign is right off the kick. Those Rebels let it fall. A bit of a miscommunication almost between a couple of Rebels. They just fall on the ball at their own 25-yard line, and it's going to be set at the 24 here. Should mention, thank everybody for listening here on AM 1150 in Kelowna, as well as on the live stream up at bcfootballconference.com. This is a broadcast of the British Columbia Football Conference. It is powered by Remax. Happy to have them on board as sponsors for this year. So a big thanks to them helping bring football across the BCFC with our live stream. The Rebels here on offense. First play back to pass. Here's a floater through towards midfield. That ball...
Good 5 or 6 yards far.
Yeah, a little bit far there on that pass from the starting quarterback. Not sure if you can hear that PA clearly. It's Scott Borden. He was looking for Birhanu Yatana, the wide receiver who's in his second year. And that'll be second down and 10 here for the Rebels back, as I say, on their own 24-yard line. Once again, passing play. This one up the middle. That connects on a pass up to Nate Skeet.
A bit of a scrap back in the backfield. That's Connor Richard getting into it with a running back. I can't tell. Number 15 for Westshore.
That's Rayshawn Provo, the back for the Rebels. Already getting a little bit scrappy here.
Yeah, I'm not sure who took his helmet off, if that was him taking his own off or Richard helping him out with that, but penalties going one way or another.
Yeah, flag down on the play. It was Provo who was in conversation with the official in his own backfield.
Now it looks like that's against the Sun. Or we just moved into the ball.
Looks like we had offsetting penalties there from the official. So we've got first down and 10 here for the Rebels.
They've had trips right every play so far from Westshore, even into the boundary now, which is a little different.
Ball at the Westshore 43 right now as the offense is whistled in. One back standing right beside Borden. He's going to hand off this time. Takes it up the gut, still on it now, and falls down. Going to be a gain of close to 5 yards there. as the first run for the Rebels there, and pretty successful one. I think gain officially of 6, ball right near that 50-yard line, 2nd down and 4 for Westshore. Back to pass this time is Borden. He connects. That'll be a 1st down over on the far side, getting forced out of bounds.
That quick hook is a really frustrating route to try to cover. If you start biting on it too soon, then you're going to get beat for something really important. But if you don't keep it real tight, then they'll just nickel and dime you all the way down the field, and then you're suddenly in your own goalpost shadow.
And if you ask the Rebels, probably that's not something that they'd be against at this point in the first possession of the year here. Don't have to be too flashy, but as long as they keep moving the chains.
We have 4 receivers to the near side.
Borden gonna fake the handoff, keep this time, and he'll get ripped down right around the Okanagan 46, 47-yard line. Looks like the official's going to spot that at the 47.
That fake's especially tough with the pulling guard from our near side going away from us. That's going to draw the linebackers and open that hole up for a running lane for the quarterback, but he doesn't have any blocking help, so it's a bit of a gamble.
And Borden, who of course played at the start of the season last year for Westshore, established himself as a running threat. This pass over the middle, a receiver went down early, and there is a flag on the play. Looks like that's going to be a pretty classic pass interference here against the Sun.
Those are frustrating. It was hard to tell really how much of that was deliberate contact and how much was just kind of running into each other down the field. Guy gets his feet tangled up, and sometimes that costs you on the defensive side.
Yeah, exactly. The receiver went down. Okay, now our official's mic is working there, so you hear the penalty against number 14, that's Zach Newman back there in the secondary. And so the ball's now going to be spotted all the way down at the Okanagan 37-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Rebels.
Oh, classic I formation.
Fumbled snap. Borden's got to fall right on the ball. And that's all he can do with that. Fall on it, kill it. Looks like they might lose 1 yard on that play.
There's very little more frustrating than that in football, just giving a play away to lose a yard for the first transition.
And a play that's not that surprising to see early on in the season here is obviously these guys have had a few weeks now to play with each other, but the first game action, you talk a little bit about the nerves like we were before, and that just a fumbled snap there. This one is clean. Borden back to pass, going deep into the right corner.
Oh, a lot of traffic over there on the sidelines.
A lot of traffic there. Sun double teamed
Number 1 there.
their receiver down the field.
Looks like a number 1, but I don't have that on my player list, so.
Yeah, there is a number 1 out there for the Rebels who's not number 1 on their roster, so we will try and identify who that is. Your apologies there is, yeah, we don't have a number 1 on the official game roster, so just a jersey swap of some sort. This does bring up a 3rd down for the Rebels.
That would have been a pretty long field goal, so it looks like they're just going to punt it away.
Here is the punt. That one is going to fall short and bounce out of bounds right at the Okanagan 10-yard line.
That was good for the defense to get that stall there. It looks a little nerve-wracking at the beginning. Thought they'd get the field driven on them, but stopped it just in time.
Yeah, exactly. That's got to feel good for a defensive player there.
Like you mentioned, it was a bit of nickel and diamond going on, like you were talking about, where you kind of see those short pass routes, and
that's so demoralizing, especially to start a season. So to get that stop after a couple first downs, that's a big motivation.
Well, a pretty good punt at that there for the Rebels, forcing the Sun back in deep towards their own goal line. There's Zyla with a bit of a pitch there.
I think that was supposed to be a screen, but it looked like it got sniffed out too quick and really didn't know where to go with it. Did he throw it into the dirt, or was that completed? Whatever, it looks like they're in the same spot.
Yeah, it looked like a completion to Mosley, just for a slight loss there. So you're right, bit of a screen pass is what they had dialed up, but a couple of linebackers had sniffed that play out and shut him down real quick. So about 2nd and 11 here for the Sun. Going to be back to pass as Zyla has got to go in his own end zone. Under pressure is throwing on the run. There's a completion on the far side to Nathaniel Anderson.
Looks like a flag. I don't know if it's going to be a hold or pass interference. If it's a hold, that might wind up being a safety. Where were his feet when the hold was called? Officials just discussing what's going on here after that penalty.
Yeah, still discussing.
Looks like a hold.
And it's not hold on the Sun, which was declined, so we'll have 3rd down here coming up.
So they're going to punt it away. The Sun defense is going to be a little disappointed they didn't get more of a breather.
Yeah, a bit of a tough field position there for the Sun, who are forced back near their own end zone there, and bit of an aggressive Westshore defense as well, especially on that 2nd down pass. Zyla was under pressure very quick, had to get rid of it in a hurry. Again, a nice play to Anderson on the far side, but...
Yeah, I didn't see if they sent a blitz there or if that was all just pure D-line rush, because that's one of the things I'm trying to keep an eye on this game out of interest.
So back here is the punt.
No, nice one. That was all right.
Over the head of the returner there. It's going to be picked up and run back up the middle. Is a flag in the play.
Great return, but it's going to get called back on a clip.
And finally brought down near the Okanagan 35 is Daniel Clark on the return. Is going to be a penalty flag. I'd imagine you're right, that's going to probably be coming back.
Yeah, one of the first guys he juked by, I believe, was getting blocked in the back, so I'm pretty sure that's what the flag was on.
Yeah, blocking the back here. Is called against the Rebels, so that's going to bring things all the way back here onto the Westshore side of the field.
Decent kick and a penalty. That was very big for the Sun here.
And a bit of an unfortunate turn there for the Rebels, because like you say, a nice return from Clark, who actually had the punt go over his head, had to go back to get it, which doesn't always lead to a great return, but he was able to go back and retrieve it, and then...
especially darting up the middle like that. That's the high traffic danger zone. don't get a lot of yards that way that often.
So 1st down and 10 here on the Westshore 40.
Look at the pass.
Gordon is going to pass.
A little bubble.
Yeah, over to that right side again.
Ooh, big stiff arm.
Still on his feet there is Trey Campbell.
Oh.
Trey Campbell, the back, who is also fully apt at receiving the football. Nice catch there, and you're right, a big stiff arm on against the Sun defender, and that'll open up 2nd down and short here for the Rebels.
No, when a guy gives you an arm like that, you have to just take it from him. Otherwise, he'll get another 10 yards like he did there. Yeah, just turn into Tarzan and swing on it. Not a penalty.
2nd down looks like less than 1 yard to go.
Yeah. Some Westshore receiver just puked, number 23.
Gordon with the quarterback keep here. He goes back, now looking towards the sideline. He'll get there, just step out of bounds.
23 for Westshore is just having a tough time getting off the field here.
Yeah, that's Nate Skeet, wide out of the Rebels here. Who, I mean,
yeah, on his way to the line of scrimmage on the snap count, he just lost his lunch for a second, and then went to try to block a guy, took a knee, and lost it again on his way off the field. So hope he's all right.
Worth noting, too, here that as the shade is creeping over more of the field right now, it is pretty hot. It's over 30 degrees here for the start of the football game as there's a handoff from Borden up the gut. Looks like a gain of about 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, and on that note, I don't see any leaves moving or a single cloud in the sky. So like, it is a little warm out here today.
It's hot, it's a little stuffy, and you're right, not a lot of breeze down there on the field. That Trey Campbell with the carry, by the way, will open up, it looks like about 2nd down and 7 here. 6:50, by the way, here to go. Should mention for our radio listeners here, 6:50 left to go in the first quarter as Borden is hit as he throws, and that one just missed.
It's going to be a late hit penalty on that, unfortunately.
Yeah, his receiver on the far side, but Borden was knocked down just after, a split second or two after he had let go of the football. The flag came out immediately.
Yeah, it was close, I think, but you definitely saw that moment hesitation of, I could have stopped for this and didn't.
Yeah, especially as you see in the CFL, for example, these penalties are getting more and more frequent as officials trying to do more and more that they can to protect quarterbacks as they're passing, but boy, that makes it tougher for defenders as well to learn on the fly, if you will.
Yeah. It's trying to kill your momentum when you're at full speed is not an easy task. So putting it on the refs to try to identify when it is that your momentum just carries you and when it is that you're actually looking to hurt someone, that's a difficult task for somebody in a split second.
Tough break for the Sun. They're defending now from their own 34-yard line. That's where the Rebels are after that major penalty, roughing the passers. A handoff once again to Campbell. He gets
beautiful-looking tackle.
Back and a huge tackle there.
Yeah, he almost got away from that, but guy kept his hands on him, tripped him up with that little shoestring at the end.
That looked like linebacker Sean Robinson, one of the rookies on this Sun squad, who read that play beautifully and sent Campbell backwards. Going to be a loss of 4 yards on that first down play. And the ball is going to be set here at the Sun 39-yard line.
That was an exciting hit. I like that.
A fellow linebacker, too. So Sun getting into this one early here. Back to pass on the second down play. Borden, he's looking deep into the corner.
Oh, no.
It's complete, and there is going to be a score.
Had a little bump contact with the safety there, but just safety lost the jump ball. And that's that number 1 again.
That number 1, it was exactly who I didn't want to see in the end zone because like
we can't give him a name right now.
We can't give him a name right now. But a nice catch at that is...
yeah, that's one of those times as a corner, as a defensive back, you want to keep your eyes on the receiver and play him to the ball instead of playing the ball, because he'll body you in that jump ball and win out. It's the rebound in basketball, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously the height advantage there to the Rebel, who made a nice catch and was able just to walk it in after beating the defender in that one-on-one coverage.
Low snap.
Low snap, extra point up is still good, and it's the Westshore Rebels taking a 7-0 lead. We'll take a quick break here from the Apple Bowl. 5:37 left to play in the opening quarter. It's the Rebels on top by a 7-0 score.
More wrong while your mask is professional, but make sure you tell him you turn your mask up there. Any chance you can find out who number 1 is on Westshore? Yep. Because it's not on our list.
If you don't have Crave TV, you're missing out on the best TV, including the television event of the year, The Handmaid's Tale, nominated for 13 Emmy Awards.
We only wanted to make the world better.
Better. Including Best Drama.
Better never means better for everyone.
And Best Leading Actress Elizabeth Moss.
My name is Alfred, and I intend to survive.
The Handmaid's Tale. Every episode. Now streaming. Find Crave TV in the App Store and get a month on us.
It starts here. This is Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Ready when we get back on air here.
And welcome back here to the Apple Bowl here. Rebels just getting set to kick off here from their score. Joined here by Carson Parker, who we are excited to tell you we've found out the name of the player who scored is off the kickoff here. Big return happening through the middle of the field, brought down near the Okanagan 43-yard line.
Wasn't a bad return, but I think the coach is still going to be a bit annoyed with him for backing up to catch that instead of coming forward and letting the returner take it.
Yeah, Keanu Shanny is the one, the wide receiver who caught that ball, but you're right, he wasn't back as returner on that, and looked for a second like he might find a hole, but was brought down quickly by the Rebels in the middle of the field. So the Sun back on offense here. Going to kick things off, like I say, from their own 43-yard line, 1st and 10.
Corner playing real tight on our near side here.
Silas going to hand this one off, but nowhere to go.
That Westshore D-line is looking every bit as good as they said they were going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that was Kelton Corey the ball on the ball there. And he was just absolutely stuffed, like you say.
He took the handoff and had nowhere to go. He was already being tackled. It's
loss of close to 4 for the Sun there. Going to be 2nd and 14. Just here, the second offensive possession of the Sun. Zyla back to pass, throwing
way over.
Yeah, that was 5+ yards ahead of his receiver on the far side there.
Just trying not to get hit there. That D-line is back in his face again right away.
Yeah, Zyla, who's, as I was going to mention there, Zyla, who's had a tough couple of possessions here in terms of the fact that he's been under big pressure from that defensive line of the Rebels, who have gotten into his grill in a hurry.
Almost every play now.
Both possessions.
If his feet are set, he's taking a hit. It's not a comfortable place for a quarterback.
Looks like a penalty against Westshore there. Didn't see the referee signal but what it was, but it was a 5-yarder against the Rebels, which the Sun will take a little bit of new life here, as that's going to be 2nd and 8 yards here, right from the Okanagan 45. Zyla back to pass on this one as well. That one through the middle, bobbled and just dropped. It was going to be short of the first down anyway for Nathaniel Anderson, but he had to dive to his left there, try and make a play.
Really like what Westshore was doing there, bringing heat on top of their dominant D-line. There's didn't have any safety help on top, so there's a threat of a deep ball, but no time for the deep ball, so he just has to get it out quick and didn't complete.
Now, do you think that was a play where Anderson's not as far into his route as Zyla thinks he is, or do you think the quarterback just missed his receiver there?
I think that's just a case of everything being a half breath quicker than they're comfortable with it being, and so it doesn't connect as they have it normally connect when they're in practice.
Back to punt are the Sun. They'll get it down to the Rebels 40.
Looks like they're setting a wall up here on the far side.
There is a flag down.
Oh, big hit. Another big hit.
A couple big hits, like you say, as Clark started out from the left side of the field, went all the way across and took it up the right side.
Well, ran a good 30, 40 yards to get 3.
I was going to say the net gain isn't going to be too big on this one, as it says being set down at the 46-yard line of the Rebels here.
No, but they'll be really happy with that return anyway. The returner actually trying to follow his blocks is nice to see from a returner. They did get 1 or 2 good blocks in that return too, but couldn't spring it.
Looks like a legal block is what's being signaled by the official on Westshore, so that's actually going to move the ball back even further. And that'll take things back inside the 40-yard line for Westshore, deep in their own territory. 3:44 left to go here in the opening quarter. It's the Rebels enjoying a 7-0 lead.
The huddle just broke at the line of scrimmage. They're a little surprised to turn around and see the D-line right there.
Borden now back to pass, goes up over the middle, looking there for Trey Campbell, the running back who we've seen catch a pass already tonight. But he was defended well by the Sun there. Looked like Ty Kitzman in the secondary.
Sean Robinson playing man out there.
Knocking that pass down before it could get to Campbell. So going to be 2nd and 10 here. Rebels set up just behind their own 30-yard line.
There's 4 receivers to the far side, so we got just the one on our side.
One man in the backfield. He's not going to take the ball. There's a pass and slipping and falling before it got there. Tough play for number 1, who we found his name. That's Dusan Greenaway. So bit of a late addition, I guess, to the roster. But Dusan Greenaway, he's wearing number 1. He caught the touchdown pass for the Rebels earlier in this game. And on that play, just a bit of tough luck as he slipped and fell as the pass was on its way to him.
I'm not sure if he's new to the team or not, but that looked like a little bit of unfamiliarity with where the quarterback wanted him to run his hook and where he ran his hook.
And the first 2 and out here for the Sun defense. Here's punt, little bit short of the returner, takes a big bounce, and that's going to be picked up and wrapped up. Right away is Nathaniel Anderson. Yeah, Nathaniel Anderson on the return there. Had to come in to pick up the ball off the ground. Didn't have a lot of space to go to from there. So that'll set the Sun up at their own 45-yard line here. 2:38 left to go in the opening quarter. Sun offense off to a start that's been a little bit wanting here. First possession, they were pushed way back towards their own goal line. But now here they are, handoff up the middle, and
nowhere to go again.
Nowhere to go once again. You're right. Is
that number 6?
That looked like Corey again. You're right. Big Kent Hicks there on the defense.
I'm not sure I've seen him blocked yet today. It's been wandering through the backfield pretty regularly.
Yeah, Kent Hicks, the big all-star here on the D-line for the Rebels.
Looks like he's calling the plays out to the rest of the D-line, too.
Second-year player on the D-line here. Zylas back to pass, goes far side pass, bobbles, and going to be dropped. Frustration there from Kyler Mosley, who was all wide open for that pass. Looked to be able to make a catch on the run, but just bobbled it a couple times and couldn't haul it in.
Those are heartbreaking for you, where you're just having it bounce off your hands 2 or 3 times. You can't reel it in. Especially in an open field when nobody's really knocking it away from you. And if that happens and somebody knocks it from you, it's a little more forgivable in your own mind.
Absolutely. It always feels like a long walk to the sidelines after that if you're a receiver who, like you say, was open in space but just was unable to come up with the ball, that being Mosley on that pass. So it's back to punt here. Minute 14 to go here in the first quarter for the Sun.
Oh, nice punt.
Nice punt, end over end here, and that
the sideline
is going to go out. Looks like it went out close to the 35-yard line, waiting for the official to spot it. They're standing right on the Rebels' 33. And so that's where Westshore is going to start their next offensive series. Rebels D obviously off to a good start. Carson, but what do you think about the Rebels offense, who on their opening drive looked pretty good, had that negated by a couple penalties there, but have the first score of this game and have looked relatively comfortable?
I think their whole team philosophy is looking to me a lot like high risk, high reward type football. They're sending quite a bit of heat on the defense, and then on the offensive side, we've seen 3 or 4 deep balls already. Only the one's connected, but they're definitely looking for it.
Borden handoff to Campbell, spins off a couple of tackles and is going to be brought down close to his own 40-yard line.
Yeah, I get the feeling their offense's goal is to just give the defense enough of a break to get their wind back and then try to take at least one shot for that home run and see if they can hit a couple. And they've hit the one so far.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 now, as this could well be the final play of the quarter, just 11 seconds now. As Borden going to be back to pass, maybe there is a completion over on the far side. That's Yitna, Biranu Yitna, who looks, like you say, close to a first down, his first catch of the night, and it is the referee over the far side saying that is good enough. As we are looking at the clock down to 0 here, that'll be...
See if the scoreboard matches the official time. Looks like they're giving them one more play.
They're giving them one more play here. 1st and 10, Westshore from their own 43-yard line. Borden handoff once again. That's Campbell making it another run pretty close to about 5 yards there, like he had on that first series. And now the official will blow dead the first quarter action here from the Apple Bowl. So we'll take a quick break here. It's the Okanagan Sun. No score. The Westshore Rebels, the visitors, 7 here at the end of first quarter play from Kelowna.
Do you think the Okanagan Sun will win their next game?
With the home stadium named after a fruit? I doubt it.
The Apple Bowl? That's never stopped them before. They're 14-time BC champions.
Must be their lucky charm.
At Simply Computing, Apple's their specialty too. So why not visit them for all your Apple hardware? Shop downtown at 1546 Pandosy or online at simply.ca. Simply Computing, proudly supporting the Okanagan Sun.
Win or lose, touchdown or turnover, JDS Energy and Mining is proud to support local sports in Kelowna. They believe it's important to put youth at play where they can learn to be leaders. They believe in the habits and values learned from working in a team. They believe the skills today youth learn in organized sports will strengthen our community. JDS Energy and Mining, a proud community partner of local sports in Kelowna and your Okanagan Sun.
Okanagan Sun football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl. It's the Okanagan Sun at home, kicking off their 2017 season against the visiting Westshore Rebels, who find themselves on top 7-0 here at the end of one quarter of play. Here with Carson Park in the booth, and Carson, bit of a tough opening quarter there for the Okanagan Sun offense. Now, heard their head coach before the game talk a little bit about some of the adjustments that are going to need to be made as they go forward and how they'll have to do that really right off the bat of the first quarter. Interesting to see how that will happen here. But for now, it's the D on the field for the Sun, as it's Scott Borden, quarterback of the Rebels. Back to pass. Nice completion up the middle.
That was a tight little window we had there between, who's that down there, Robinson and who's the corner?
Yeah, that's Ty Kitzman down there. And that's Biranu Yitna.
That was a tight window there. The defense can get a hand on one of those balls, they can get that turnover. And there's been 2 or 3 chances this game already, but haven't made any of those plays yet.
Yeah, credit Borden with the pass there, because you're right, he really threaded a needle over to Yitna, who made his second catch in as many pass plays here. So up, approaching midfield of the Rebels. Here's another pass, wide open down the right side, and that's going to be a score. As walking right into the end zone there was Austin Lindo Brow.
Yeah, that was the double move. Everyone stepped forward to cover, and double move over the top, got wide open.
Yeah, he sure was wide open there, probably close to 10 yards past the defender. Was, like I say, number 10, Austin Lindo Brow is the receiver there. His first catch of the ball game is a big one, as that's going to go for a 50-yard.
Yeah, for the defender's sake, I really hope that was a man coverage, not a zone, because in man getting burned on a double move is more acceptable than when it's in zone. You shouldn't be biting on that first move.
Well, the point after here, kick is going to be up and good, so less than 1 minute, 51 seconds to be exact, into the second quarter here. Sun have some bouncing back to do, trailing this one now 14-0 early in quarter number 2. So had brought up the fact that Sun looking to make some adjustments on offense. What do you think the coaching staff is going to look at doing here offensively to try and mix things up a little bit?
I think they need to find a way to get this dominant D-line out of the game, and the only way they can do that really is to get the short passing game going. Got to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough that they can't fake it to him. And if they keep trying to pound the run game too much, I'm a little worried they're going to run the clock out on themselves, because that D-line is swallowing up everything that gets handed off. So I think just the quick pass game is the best bet that they have moving forward, but we'll see what they decide to go with.
Yeah, you're right. It's certainly been the case where quarterback for the Sun, Keith Zyla, has been under pressure quite a bit early on here. The offense hasn't had that much time in the field, but when they have been out there, he's been under pressure quite a bit. It's the D-line that's been able to get right in his face.
That's a short kick.
Yeah, short.
Out of bounds.
Kick looked to go out of bounds near the 40.
That's the second or third time they've had that shorter kick, trying not to give it to the returner, but to the next row up, which definitely seems by design. I'm sure that's not an issue with the leg strength.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it goes back to what you were saying earlier, where it maybe introduces some of those elements of miscommunication between guys as they're wondering, okay, do I go back to try and make this catch, or do I let it go and leave it for the returner?
And everybody on the football field, especially once you get back to second level in front of the returners, all those guys want the ball. Like, they know it's their job not to have it. They have to go block. But if the ball comes to them, they want to show that they can be the returner if they could. So you really have to show that selflessness to step up and be the blocker and for somebody else. But at the same time, you can't step up too much and give so much space behind you the returner can't get to the ball.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fine line there.
And exercise in restraint is...
Officials blowing us dead here for a second.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we had a penalty in there. Looks like the referee is going to check in with his fellow officials to see what's going on. As it stands, the Sun are currently setting up from their own 37-yard line. Going to be 1st and 10. Looks now like the offense has now been blowing in, and we will get back to some football here. As Zyla drops the snap, is able to go back and pick it up, but he is swarmed by Rebels who take him down for what will be a loss of probably close to 10 yards.
Yeah, that's a tough loss. Now, second and very long.
So 2nd down and 21 is the call that comes in over the PA.
Yeah, going forward, I'd definitely like to see a couple, obviously not this drive if we can't get a first down here, but some more of those quick passes in game and get the O-lineman up to the second level to help block, because that's where they're going to be far more effective. This D-line is just too dominant.
So Zyla back to certainly pass here. He's under pressure right away, throws another screen type of play as he gets knocked down hard.
Yeah, the D-line hunting that screen down again, because they're too good, they're too smart. It's going to be interesting the rest of this game, seeing what the strategy is to get away from those guys.
Yeah, tough play for Zyla there, because as we saw, he had 2 defenders quickly on him, bearing down in a hurry, who were completely unblocked, basically, off of that snap.
Yeah, I wonder what he's doing with his snap count, too. He might have to start throwing in a couple changes on there, because it did look like the defense knew the snap count and was just ready to go just out of the gate.
Rebels ready to pounce on that one, going to set things up to return this punt. The Sun are kicking this one from inside their own 15-yard line. as this one will also angle out of bounds. And it's going to be good field position for the Rebels here. This one not making it up to midfield.
Yeah, that was not as good a kick as he had last time.
That being Sun kicker and punter Isaac Wagner out there. But you're right, has had a couple dandies in terms of punts tonight, but that one just angling out of bounds a little bit short, and it'll set the Rebels up here on offense, 1st and 10 from the Okanagan 41-yard line. Rebels, who are already up 14-0 in this ball game, this would be big if they could add on another score here.
Yeah, definitely. This is a big possession. Looks like a pass.
Gordon will pass this one over the left side. Ooh. That one just looked like it went through the arms almost of Yitna.
Yeah, I think he might have been looking at the sun on that one, just peeking himself out of the shadow of the stadium here.
Yeah, you're right. It was kind of in an awkward transitional shadow spot over there, whereas he was running, he was in the shade, and then he looked back to the ball and just got a face full of sunshine.
Yeah, yeah.
So a bit of a break there for the Sun, from the Sun, who are now facing 2nd down and 10.
Oh, they have 4 wide receivers coming this side again.
Yes.
Screen to their way.
And that one to Campbell over the left side.
Oh, good tackle by the corner.
Yeah.
That's Ty again, I think.
Campbell leaped over an incoming tackle and looked like he got close to the first down, but remains to be seen exactly where that ball is going to be spotted.
I think we're a yard or two short. Anyway.
Yeah, officials standing kind of back. Looks like 3rd and 2 coming up.
This would be a 40-yard field goal, which at this level is plenty of guys who can do that. Whether or not Westshore has somebody they're comfortable with giving that attempt, we'll see.
Absolutely, as we have a timeout on the field here, so we'll take a quick timeout in the booth. It's the Rebels 14, the Sun, no score, here on AM 1150.
Broneg Contracting believes in giving back to our community. For the past 8 years, they've been a proud corporate sponsor of the Okanagan Sun. Broneg Contracting is also a proud supporter of the Okanagan Charity Classic Golf Tournament. Proceeds from the 2017 Okanagan Charity Classic will be donated towards assisting underprivileged children to play in organized sports. Other proceeds will also go towards the Canucks Autism Network for Kids. Broneg Contracting, a proud supporter of the Okanagan Sun.
White's Barbecue and Fireplace Center, for all things barbecue.
Hey, baby, it's the king here, the Brawl King, that is. And these grills have got me all shook up. Cast iron, stainless steel, propane, and natural gas. Free assembly. Where can a man get a Brawl King of a deal like that?
White's Barbecue and Fireplace Center, corner of Springfield and Spall, for all things barbecue. White's. Put some sizzle on it.
Under the helmet and between the 50s. This is your all-access pass to Okanagan Sun football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl. It's the Okanagan Sun Westshore Rebels opening game of the 2017 season. And in a game that's so far gone most of the Rebels' way. They lead 14-0 here at this point, facing a 3rd down and 2. And we're joined by my color commentator tonight is Carson Park, and they are going for it on 3rd and 2 here.
Out of the eye, expect a power run. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Sun trying to push him back,
and
but
he looks like he got it.
Yeah, he's going to get through.
There's a flag, though, from the sideline.
Yeah, flag way out there on the...
Don't know if that's a defender lining up in the neutral zone or somebody jumping early. We'll see.
That was big. Aiden Enns-Horvath on the run there, who bounced off a couple of tackles and just worked his way in across the 30-yard line.
I think they're calling that a cut, an illegal chop, maybe. See if his mic works here.
Yeah, the mic and the official's been a little hit or miss, but...
And it's missed here.
But you're right, it looked like...
an illegal block, I think.
An illegal block there, and the penalty to go against Westshore. So this will move them back, and on third
15,
down...
15 yards.
That not only negates the first down, moves them back on third down, takes them out of field goal range here, too.
Oh, yeah. This is, that was a big penalty for the Sun.
Huge penalty there for Okanagan, who are going to be sending, looks like Liam Crane back towards the goal line to return this punt.
A little bit of confusion for Westshore.
Yeah,
That's, oh, no, never mind.
You can see down the sideline, Charlie Cardelicia not too impressed with the official on that call, as that's a nice end-over-end punt. Crane catches it, but
gets crushed right away.
He gets hit rather hard right at his own 15-yard line.
That was an amazing kick. He forced him to catch it on the run, and the run just carried him right into the tackler's arms. That was almost like an alley-oop from the kicker to the tackler. That was a pretty cool play.
Yeah, exactly. Big Chris Larson, who got down the field in a hurry for the Rebels with the massive hit there. And it does something to the Sun, which has been their reality so far in this football game, and that's starting out on offense deep in their own territory. This one spotted at the Okanagan 15-yard line. Zyla lining up with Corey to his left. He's going to keep pass it.
There's a good little quick hook play. Oh, they're calling it incomplete. He dropped it.
Oh, Anderson, who looked like he wrapped that up no problem.
Sun receiver's got to help the quarterback out here. Everyone's getting hit on both ends, but it doesn't help when the ball's on the ground.
Well, you're right. I mean, we've seen a couple times now, and we can talk all we want about what the Sun need to do. You've talked about those quick passes, but if the receivers aren't able to lock in the ball a little bit more going forward, you're right, there's not much a quarterback can do in that sense as we get second down and 10 from that same 15-yard line. So I was going to try the other side of the field, throw a long way across, and that one is not near Crane, who was the receiver in question.
That was definitely the best protection he's had all night, too, on that pass. That he actually got to set his feet, and nobody was in his grill.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually, as he was able to...
But the previous pressure, I think, is still getting to him because, that pass did not connect, and with that much time, you'd expect those to connect. The pressure is probably in his head a little bit at this point.
Yeah, and a play like that where sometimes you see the quarterback miss overthrowing a receiver, but that one was kind of in behind Crane. He had to try and twist back to follow the flight of that ball, and he just wasn't able to get there. 9:40 time remaining here in the second quarter. Speaking of Liam Crane, we will hear from him coming up in the halftime break of this football game.
Oh, another rough kick.
Yeah, this punt doesn't
great
go
tackle, though.
Too far, but a huge tackle up the middle there.
By Tyler Going?
Yeah, Tyler Going coming in to make that one. As it was Fioranu Yitna back to receive that punt, and he got wrapped up in a hurry. Still good field position, however, for the Rebels. They are in Sun territory. Official looks to be marking this one at the 43-yard line of the Sun.
Earlier in the game, when you were seeing those punts leave his foot with that nice spiral and getting some height on it. And the last two have looked a little bit like they're coming off his shin or something with the end-over-end motion. And, yeah, it's probably cost him a good 15 yards per kick on each of those. Not, hopefully he can get that back under control by the end of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. That ball not looking as clean off the foot and distance suffering as well, like you say. Will give good field position to the Rebels here. Pass by Borden, laterals it there to Campbell, who works his way up to the Okanagan 38. As you hear of the PA, close to a 5-yard gain. That's Trey Campbell, who today consistently, whether he's been handed off the football, whether he gets one of those short passes, he's been probably close to gaining 5 yards each touch he's gotten tonight.
Yeah, definitely. He's slipped a couple tackles, too, which is the big thing. If you can make that first guy miss, that's almost guaranteed 5 yards.
2nd and 5 here inside the Okanagan 40 for the Rebels. Another pass play dialed up over that left side. That is Yitna, who's wrapped up nicely. Okanagan D read that one well. So that'll bring up 3rd down here as we look to see what the Rebels have dialed up this time. They went for it on 3rd down successfully, but had it called back on a penalty last time. But that was only about 3rd down and a couple of yards. Looks like this one is going to be kicked away.
Hopefully, Liam can get a little bit of a better return this time. Not get just led straight into a tackle.
We'll see what those shadows do too, because Crane has to.
Oh, and it's a fake.
It is a fake here, over on the left side, and breaking through a tackle on that side. Wow, nice play there.
Who's that coming out of the pile? Everyone's celebrating.
That looked like Byron McKinnon to me.
Yeah.
Big number 8 there, the linebacker who got the ball there on that fake and was able to break through multiple tackles up the middle, stick it all the way down here to the Okanagan 22.
We'll see how the D bounces back here, because those are demoralizing. When you think you have your quick little water break and you look up and suddenly you're still back on the field. That's a good way to take the wind out of your lungs.
Yeah, absolutely. 1st and 10 here, just outside the red zone.
Got 4 wide on the near side.
Yeah, the Rebels have done this. Stack those receivers.
Oh, and then they go to the isolation.
That pass intended for Dusan Greenaway, who's already hauled in a TD catch. He's a big guy, Greenaway. Wasn't on the initial game day roster that we have, so I don't have his height and weight, but he's one of the tallest guys out there on the offense for the Rebels, and we saw that on that opening touchdown for them where he was just able to go up and get a football that was thrown over the corner's head.
Yeah, that first one was, he definitely won the high point on that first jump ball.
Yeah, exactly. 6:20 left to go here in the second quarter. Rebels with the 14-0 lead on offense once again. Here's Borden now going deep to the end zone, overthrows his man there. Looked like number 14, Andre Murphy, the slot back.
Just a note that number 23, Nate Skeet, was back in the game. So whatever was ailing him he seems all right, which is good. A little worried he was getting some heat stroke or something going on down there, and that's never good, but he's running around and seems fine.
Yeah, you're right. That was Skeet early on in the ball game who was having a little bit of trouble keeping those liquids down as he was...
Yeah, I hope that's just the case. If he took too many in preparation, then he's overheating out there. But
because that can happen, too, of course, when you are worried about being underhydrated. And
you overhydrate.
You overhydrate, and then you get out there and you feel that nausea, and you go, oh.
Yeah.
But you're right, good to see him back in the game. Field goal attempt now.
Block.
A block kick down, ball down.
And
it's still down as it's getting
around in a pile.
Forward and forward up near the Okanagan 40-yard line.
The low snap couldn't get pinned quick enough, and the kicker just booted it right into some legs. So that's rough.
Yeah, tough one there for the Rebels. You're right, that low snap kind of left Kyle Clark in no man's land as the kicker there. Not much you can do.
No, yeah, when you're in that split-second motion, you only have a half breath for the holder to do something with it before you're swarmed.
So a big break for the Sun there. We'll see if that can ignite the offense, if you will. They're starting from their own 40-yard line. 5.5 left on the clock. Sun trying to get on the scoreboard before halftime here.
Oh, that's somebody left early, and they're letting the play run out.
They're letting the play run out.
Which is going to help.
It was a pitch to Corey, who looked like he was getting edged out of bounds, kept going on the far side, well past a first down there.
and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little pushing and shoving out of this pile. There was, clearing up nicely. That's good.
Looks like it was going to be an offside call to the defense there.
Yeah, that's why they let the play run out, I think, because if the offense jumps, you just blow it dead
immediately. So,
and on the defense, if the defense jumps, you only really blow it dead when you think it's going to put somebody in risk, where a D lineman's in the backfield before anybody can do anything. There, I think he got, a good 15 yards out of just everyone not sure what the status of the play was for a second.
Exactly. There's the confusion factor, too, as...
Just keep going till the whistle blows.
That's exactly what happened on that, and that'll move those chains a long way up past midfield now.
Lucky break.
Sun starting out here from the Rebels 53, and I believe this is the first time the Sun offense has gotten past midfield in this first half so far. Big handoff there from Zyla up the middle there.
Beauty play. That's exactly what I was hoping they'd start doing.
Nice pass to Jesse Falconer, his first reception of the game. A big target there.
That was just the quick play action dart on the slant or drag across the middle. Good 7-8 yards at the catch. Rings it for 15-ish.
Yeah, exactly. Falconer presenting a big target there, and he doesn't need to run all the way up past that first down mark. He was able to run that short route right through the middle. And like you say, with only one man behind him, he was able to make up that space and get a first down for the Sun there.
Nice to see that they turned a little bit of that luck into at least one positive play. We'll hope they can see if they can keep that momentum going. I know the Sun defense is hoping they can keep this momentum going. It's only a 2-score game still.
Exactly. And it looked like a flag there was waved off, so we find ourselves first and 10 here for the Sun once again inside the 40 of the Rebels. Silas connected in the last couple of passes. That one is a handoff there to the inside. Looked like Corey up the gut, sidestepped a couple tackles, and he with a gain there of 4 yards.
That was a really good, well-run read option right there. But that ball transition's making me a little nervous. He reached pretty far for that handoff. That get too many like those, and eventually you're going to fumble one.
Yeah, kinks that still need to be worked out early on in this season here. As the clock down to about 3.5 minutes late. Sun making a charge here. Zyla passing over to the left side, nearly picked off there.
I don't know if the receiver realized that was supposed to be thrown to him. I think he thought it was going to the guy behind him, and didn't realize the guy behind him was the one covering him.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication there is what it looked like. Like you say, it was Ronan McPhail-Silver in the secondary who almost reached up and picked that Zyla pass off.
He would have been off to the races, too.
Yeah, he would have, absolutely. Looking through the defensive stats of the Rebels last year, was interested to see that they didn't have a pick six last year, actually.
Oh, that's a frustrating season. They, pick sixes just sort of happen. Like, you can't really train for them, and you can have a great season without any, but...
As they did, but kind of an interesting wrinkle, I thought. Zyla going deep in the left corner. That one overthrown, but a flag is down. He was looking for Liam Crane.
Liam's getting really involved in the hand fight over there, and took too long for his eyes to go find the football.
But the official didn't like the contact either, and threw a flag down right near it. Now referee coming out of a huddle. It is going to be a pass interference call, and it's going against Westshore.
Pass interference and objection of the conduct goes against the Rebels.
Oh, and an objectionable conduct, apparently.
So a whistle here is going to stall this play some more, but...
Looks like we have a timeout, I believe.
Now the referee looks like he's re-signaling these penalties. So not sure exactly what happened there, but...
yeah, it looks like we're on 3-minute timeout, actually, the 3-minute warning.
3-minute warning, yeah, that's right, comes into effect here with 2:57 on the clock left to play. So a bit of an undisciplined last play there for the Rebels there, who get whistled on the pass interference, but also that objectionable conduct, and all of a sudden the Sun are lining up at the Rebels' 10-yard line.
Yeah, this drive's definitely been a lot more luck and help from Westshore than it has been the Suns' offense clicking. But they've clicked when they've needed to, and we'll see if they can find a way to get this last 10 yards into that end zone.
So a first down. Looks like, I was trying to see if it was first and goal at this point. Looks like where the sticks are positioned, the line of scrimmage is just outside of the 10-yard line. So a first and 10 by the looks of things here.
First and 10 from the 10.5.
10.5 or 10 3/4. Officials now just getting back into position as the offense is about to be blown in. Coming off the 3-minute warning, 2:57 left to go here. First half. Okanagan Sun trailing by a couple of scores. Looking to get on the board here before this first half is done. Here's Zyla with a handoff there. A bit of a slippery one, stumbling towards the goal line.
I think that's going to be a pretty beneficial spot. I'm pretty sure his knee touched the ground there early near the line of scrimmage, but he kept that one hand going and crawled his way up for like 7 or 8. That was a great run. But I think that was a lucky spot.
Yeah, I think it might have been as well. I'm trying to see who it was on that run. I think it might have been...
I think it was 22. I think that would have been Kyler Mosley, I believe, on the kind of jet sweep.
Yeah, you're right. It's potentially a fortunate spot here for the Sun, who are second down and just a couple here inside the 5. There's a handoff back from Zyla, trying to
power up the middle.
Power right up the middle, but unable to get past that stingy Westshore defense, who sets a wall right in front of their goalpost.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that call, especially against this strong D-line. Just trying to decide you can outpower them with 3 or 4 yards to go is quite the decision.
Third down, Sun are going for it here. Are we going to see a third run play? 2 men in the backfield. Looks like Zyla kept that one. Powers through. Sun think they're into the end zone, and official says they are.
Well, that was quite the surge there. Quarterback just pushing up the O-line.
That keeps Zyla almost piggybacking right onto the back of his offensive lineman, who just pushed the pile through. But it's big number 15 on the quarterback's keep there.
I like that aggressive play there inside the 5-yard line, because even if you don't get it, you have them right in their own goal line. You can get that tackle for loss of a couple. You have the safety and the ball back. So
yeah, absolutely. Only reason I wondered about that was just because of the time left on the field and whether they were going to...
If you're down by 2 scores and you get a field goal and you're still down by 2 scores, might as well go for that touchdown. Yeah, well, at least that's my thoughts. Anytime you're inside the 5, I'd rather see a team go for it than kick that short field goal.
Absolutely, and it sure worked out for the Sun on that play. They'll go for the extra point here, Isaac Wagner. His first point after attempt.
Great snap.
It's going to be a good one. A flag goes down.
Guy's lost his helmet, so it's probably something to do with that.
Bursting through that line was McPhail Silver on the Rebels side, who was just a couple seconds shy of a diving attempt to block that kick. Not clear from the officials right off the bat who this flag is against here. All players on both teams kind of huddled around them right now.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, 2:12.
It was Zach Newman who lost his helmet there for a moment, and I think it was him running into McPhail Silver.
And it looks like a delay of game whistled against the Sun from the...
That seems strange.
Once again, as always, the Okanagan Sun touchdown cannon brought to you by the Okanagan.
There was a penalty on the Sun there that's going to be tacked on to the kickoff here. Again, just not sure what happened there, but it'll move the Sun a little bit further back. Looks like the officials are going to have them kick off from the 35-yard line instead of the 45.
Oh, they're back at their own 35. Yeah.
Yeah, the penalty, whatever happened down there, and the kick is being enforced here.
Yeah.
As mentioned, coming up in halftime, we'll be able to break down some of what we saw here in the opening half, as well as hear from Okanagan Sun receiver Liam Crane. Spoke to him before the game, so that coming up in our halftime portion of the broadcast.
Oh, big return and down in that traffic there.
Yeah, it looked like 29 Anthony Bodger on the return there was able to move things up to the 42-yard line of the Rebels. A little bit of relief now for the players as the sun has gone behind the hills here in Kelowna. Full shade and a few degrees cooler down there on the field. It was hot late this afternoon. That opening kickoff, too, above 30 degrees for a hot start to the season here.
Westshore has come out in this formation a few times where they have 3 or 4 dudes in the backfield. And, a big tackle in the backfield, and then in the secondary backfield, there was a big collision with a receiver and a safety. Yeah, that was Nate Keith again getting into it.
It was a handoff on the offensive play there. Campbell was wrapped up. And so it'll be a loss of a couple, at least let's call it 1.5 here. Second down for the Rebels from their own 40-yard line. Gordon now back to pass this time. Connects this time to Campbell, who's wrapped up. Good tackle there by the Sun.
Great swarm tackle there.
Yeah, nice play there. I believe that was Eli Haynes who was the one who made initial contact, wrapped up Campbell's feet and allowed him not to get any further until a couple of his teammates came in, took him down. And after the big score on offense, a big 2-and-out here for the Sun D.
Yeah, the tackling, I'd like to see fewer Sun leaving their feet on that because the running back stayed on his feet far too long there, but I love the swarming where there's 3 or 4 guys making the tackle by the end of it. Because if you have the first one without that second one, he's going to break a big play.
And you could see it, too. I mean, if Campbell was just trying to get out from the arms of Haynes there, and had he been able to, rather, he would have been off. So the Rebels back to punt here. Block.
It's tipped anyway, and they're returning it.
They're returning it there. As getting that ball was Tyson Mastrodimos.
Somebody definitely got their hand on that ball because it barely cleared the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it did. It was so close to being completely blocked. Batted down at the line anyway, Mastrodimos.
I think that's on the long snapper again. He's floating those back there a little soft. And that's giving the guys enough time to really get that pressure on.
Yeah, by the time Clark got that kick off,
there was 2 or 3 bodies around him. It was
exactly. Again, that sort of no man's land feeling for a kicker.
Yeah, where you're a little late to pull the chute and run on your own, but
exactly.
It's at the point where you know you're just kicking it into a body and
hoping that ball gets as far as...
Yeah, hoping it finds its way through a hole somewhere.
Exactly. So the Sun, who have had some big plays on special teams here.
Well, it's the most underrated third of the football game for sure.
Have 1:05 now before the end of this first half. They're inside Westshore territory, lining up here at the Rebels' 41-yard line.
Yeah. it's dead for a second. The Sun are really liking this formation where they have 4 receivers to one side, and the running back leaks to the one receiver side, and a receiver enters the backfield as a running back. They've been doing that quite a bit today.
Yeah, we've seen that from both offenses, haven't we?
Yeah, just a lot of misdirection, trying to keep the defense guessing.
Zyla back to pass here on the first down play, under pressure, and a diving catch.
Oh, I hope they give that to him. Oh, come on.
They're saying no catch.
I think that was a catch. That looked like it was all hands to me.
Nathaniel Anderson trying to make up for an earlier drop.
It only would have been 7 yards on a second.
Yeah. It wasn't going to be a first down play, you're right, that's for sure.
Oh, the official's talking about it anyway.
The initial signal immediately was no catch.
From the sideline official.
Yeah, Ben McCauley, head coach of the Sun, trying to appeal the official, saying, I think he might have pulled that one in.
Looks like they're giving it to him.
Are they going to reverse this call?
Well, they're at a new line of scrimmage.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are. Beauty.
They are going to reverse that incomplete call, Nathaniel Anderson.
It's only 4 yards of receiver stats, but that was a beautiful catch.
Laid out for all 4 of those yards. Second down and about 6 now for the Sun. Zyla once again throws to the far side. That one is complete, and ditching a tackle is Mosley. He gets knocked out of bounds inside the 20. Another first down for the Sun.
I got to give a shout-out on that play to number 54, Marshall Klein, on the backside block there to give the quarterback enough time. That was a beautiful block.
Klein, a big body on this offensive line, a first year out of Winnipeg. A nice block there.
I thought for a second the quarterback was going to get crushed before he could release that. And
yeah, Zyla was under pressure again. That's for certain. 49 seconds on the clock. A back on one side of him, fakes the handoff, throws far side. That's Mosley once again on a screen pass, and he'll get down inside the 10-yard line.
Another one of those just quick pass plays. They're trying to stay away from that D-line. I'm really liking the play call selection by the Sun here in the second quarter. Yeah, we're suddenly only 10 yards away from having a tied game.
And it is that, too. I mean, I thought that on the Suns' first score, only a couple minutes yet to play, I thought they might be lucky to get that ball back, but here they've got it back again, deep in opponent territory here. Handoff here on the inside, thrusting through a couple of tackles. Believe that was Robbie Rodriguez.
That was a great run, powerfully through the D-line there.
Sure was. He knocked off a couple of tackles there, gets down to about the 1.5, 2-yard line.
Well, most of the day so far, that D-line's been swallowing up runners all over the place. And right there, I thought he was going to swallow it up again as he ran through 2 D-line arms, but somehow burst through that hole. Right down to the, what are we at, 2?
We're down to about the 2-yard line. Clock ticking down, about 25 seconds left at this point.
Expect another power run. There it is.
There it is, through the gut, and that is... looks like a score, feels like a score. It is. Touchdown. And the Sun have tied this thing up, come close to it. Extra point pending anyway.
With 15 seconds left till half. That is quite the momentum turnaround. Have to check the stats at halftime, but I'm sure Westshore is winning the yardage game.
Yep.
But Sun have to feel great about this scoreboard.
That was Kyler Mosley there, too. We saw him on that end-around play earlier in the game, the receiver on the run, but it's him who he lined up as the second back in that I formation there and was able to power through, leaving the point-after attempt here for Wagner. Kick is up, kick is good this time. No penalty flags thrown either. And after a start to this first half that looked like it might end up all Westshore, it's the Okanagan Sun who their last 2 possessions on offense have managed to come back and tie up this ball game.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with how this half ended for the Sun. I wasn't all that convinced. I thought it was going to be 21-0 by halftime 5 minutes ago, and here we are in a tie football game. So should be an exciting second half.
Another great game between these 2 rivals. Of course, last season it was the Sun coming away with a Week 1 win against Westshore. The Rebels having that last laugh, winning the BCFC championship game. And here in Week 1 of the 2017 season, the Rebels with a couple of early scores, the Sun with a couple of late scores.
Let's see what happens on this kick. I sort of expect a bit of a pooched kick here, just to try to kill a couple more seconds off this clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Sun wanted to kill it off, and there it is. Kind of a squibber up close to the 40-yard line.
Oh, and the Sun have it.
Sun have it.
The guy Westshore's player dove for the ball and bounced out of his hands into the Sun player's arm. And we're almost in field goal range here with 14 seconds.
It looks like the Rebels were going to wrap that one up fairly easily. That was Byron McKinnon, who had the nice play on the fake punt earlier in this game.
Just failed to fall on the ball. That was tried to do the safe play, and it still wasn't safe enough.
Wow, the Sun special teams has come up with another doozy here. And it'll be first down Okanagan from the Rebels' 42-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with what the Sun kicker's range is, but we are right near what most BCFC kickers are capable of.
So in that sense here, 14 seconds left. What's your play call to here to get within that field goal range?
Oh, probably one or two short, quick passing plays, hooks. Get the timeout, middle of the field. Try to just get that next 10 to 15 yards.
Yeah, we'll see what they can get in here. There's a slant to the far side. Still on his feet.
Down to the 30.
Yeah, down to the 30 there. Far side of the field, trying to see who that receiver is all the way over there. I think that was Anderson there.
So those plays are almost dangerous for receivers, where suddenly you expect to just get the catch and get tackled and get a timeout and get back to the ball, but suddenly you're on your feet and you don't know, do I need to keep fighting for yards and go for this touchdown, or am I wasting seconds? There's that momentary conflict in your mind. Do I need to get to the ground? Do I need to get out of bounds?
Exactly.
What's the right move here? And
that was sure close to the first down sticks. It looks like the officials requested a measurement here. Not that this really matters, of course.
Yeah, with how little time there is left, I can't imagine this coming into play. But we are, it looks like, second and short.
It looks like, yeah.
Second and inches.
Second and inches, or even second and inch by the looks of it.
Yeah, but we are now at the 32. That makes for a 40-yard field goal. I'd be surprised if we do anything but run it into the middle of the field and then go for a long kick.
And then go for the long kick with time expiring anyway.
Sort of depends if the kicker likes this hash or not. Based on the last play, I expect that is his preference.
So second and very short. That is the confirmation the officials have come to now. Like you say, Sun likely preparing for just a short run here to get it into a spot that would work for them for an attempted field goal.
Have a pretty spread out standard offense, though, so maybe.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it looks like somebody's probably bleeding and getting sent off. One of the more frustrating things in football, having to cover your blood, because helmets cause a lot of little nicks out there.
Yeah, they sure do.
Most offensive and defensive linemen, that's really the purpose of their gloves. They're not touching the football, and there is padding in the gloves, but it's mostly just to stop yourself from bleeding and getting sent out all the time.
It looks like Matthew Robinson on the line has to
cover up some elbow.
Yeah, had to take a jog over to the sideline. Now he's heading back over. Yeah, but it's a good point, and it's funny too, because when you watch a game on TV, for example, it doesn't look like there's that much going on in a line.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of contact going on between linemen.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a lot like a lot of specialty sports, though. If you watch any MMA or anything, if you aren't familiar with jiu-jitsu, watching the ground game is super boring.
Yeah, right.
But
Silas back to pass here. He's going deep, going for Liam Crane. Oh. It's picked off in the end zone.
That's exactly why I would not have expected them to try to put the ball in the air. is to at least have the attempt for those points to end the half.
And that is going to go as the final play for the first half. So after the opening 30 here at the Apple Bowl in Kelowna, it's the Sun and the Rebels all tied up at 14. Lots to talk about in this halftime. We'll also get to our interview pregame with Liam Crane. That's coming up here on halftime from the Apple Bowl. We'll be back right after this.
As Kelowna's premier commercial real estate brokerage, Colliers International is focused on creating value for their clients. Let Colliers help you with complete end-to-end service, from consulting and appraisal to brokerage and project management. Colliers International will help you buy, sell, lease, and manage your commercial and investment property. Colliers International, commercial real estate solutions to accelerate your success. Proud sponsor of the Okanagan Sun. Visit collierscanada.com.
Pete from Kelowna Performance Collision on Above and Beyond.
I appreciate it when people say we went above and beyond. However, treating you with kindness and a smile when you come in and caring for your vehicle as if it was one of our own, for us, that's not above and beyond. That's just what we do.
For faster estimates and no wait time, book online at KelownaPerformanceCollision.com. Kelowna Performance Collision across from Walmart on Enterprise.
You'll love the way your car looks. I guarantee it.
150 years is a long time, and to mark Canada's momentous birthday, Dr. Specs Optical is giving you big savings. Purchase any digital progressive package, including frame, lenses, and coating, and take $150 off. It's just their way of saying happy birthday. Saturday eye exam appointments and direct billing for most insurance plans available. Dr. Specs Optical and Peric Optometry in Orchard Plaza, bringing life back into focus. Online at drspecsoptical.ca.
You're listening to Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl in Kelowna. It's the site of the Okanagan Suns home opener, the 2017 season kicking off here tonight, featuring the Sun and the Westshore Rebels. And what we've seen over the first half of this football game is an exciting one that's led us to 2 scores apiece for these teams, who are tied at 14 here as we make our way through halftime. Pleased to be joined by the guy who's been beside me throughout the first half of this game, Carson Park. Carson, let's start with this. Your first game up in the booth here today. What are you thinking about this? So we've seen a pretty good one. Not bad for your first one here.
Oh, yeah, it's been a treat so far. Definitely was a little nervous for a quarter there, thinking it might get out of hand for the visitors, but it's definitely evened out quite a bit, and it's turned into a great game. I'm looking forward to the second half.
Let's talk about off the start of that first quarter, because like you say, a little bit of nerve-wracking moments at the beginning of this one where we thought it might kind of get out of hand for the Rebels. They started off well. Their quarterback, Scott Borden, was completing passes, was handing off with success to Trey Campbell at running back, and the offense moving the ball well. Looked like they had the Sun D just a little bit flustered off the bat.
For me, it was just their willingness to go for those home run balls early and actually connecting on a couple of them. Just that paired with the absolute dominance displayed by the D-line. I was a little nervous that we could have gone this whole game with the Sun not being able to figure out how to get a snap off on offense. But they really turned it around, and I think they have followed a bit of that strategy of take the D-line out of the game with the quick passing game, because that's been working pretty well for them lately. The screens, not so much, because the D-line can sniff that out, but those quick bubble swing passes and hitches, those have been working pretty well for them in the last second quarter there.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about those quick passes, the slants and the hitches, and it's something that we saw Westshore doing pretty well on offense early in the game. Seemed like Sun seemed to take a little bit of their page and start using that against that tough D-line that was giving Zyla tough pressure early on.
Yeah, it'll also be interesting to see how that evolves a little bit going through the game, because we saw on Westshore's second touchdown, it was that fake to the underneath and then the deep pass over the top that got the touchdown. It'll be interesting to see if the Sun are able to do anything similar now that they've got a little bit of connection going with their short game. If they trust their O-line enough to give their quarterback the time to make that deep pass, because early in the game he wasn't able to set his feet even on his 3-step drops, and but if in the second half they can give them that time to go for that deep ball once or twice, they might be able to hit a home run of their own.
You talk about the defenses kind of sniffing out the run game at times, and I wonder if that's sort of what started happening with the Sun, where early on in the game, mentioned that Trey Campbell, for example, was a guy that was getting 5-yard gains fairly consistently, 5-6 yards at a time. Looked like the Sun made some adjustments to be able to start stuffing him and put the pressure on that pass a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've been bringing another linebacker up to the line of scrimmage or what they've been doing, but they definitely have secured that line of scrimmage better than they were early on in the game. And it led to a couple of their 2-and-outs, those are huge for a defense.
Huge for a defense, and especially when you've got the special teams plays that were happening early in this game, because we've seen a blocked kick from the Sun special teams. We've seen a couple plays where they've just been able to get the ball down the field for the offense that's really started to shift that momentum. And I think that blocked kick was a play in this game between the scores for the Suns that really helped them push for that second goal. Second score.
That's one place where people really, I think, don't appreciate special teams as much as they should. It really illustrates which team has the stronger depth. But and here it seems more you're not seeing so much the disparity in depth being the cause of this the Suns special teams success. But the long snapper for the Rebels is just having a rough day. I'm not sure if he's new to it or what it is, but the snaps are coming out a little slow, and he had on that blocked field goal, it was just landing at the holder instead of into the holder's hands. And if you have that problem, if your long snapper can't get the ball there crisply every time, it doesn't matter what the rest of the special teams do, you're going to be in trouble.
Want to talk more adjustments with you, but we will take a quick break first, because coming up, I do want to get to an interview we were able to do pregame with Okanagan Sun receiver Liam Crane. So we'll take a quick break, come back for that. You're listening to BCFC Football, Okanagan Sun, home to the Westshore Rebels, right here on the BCFC website, live stream as well as AM 1150.
Kelowna, July is Magnum Month at Popeyes. Popeyes. Want more protein and less carbs? Get into Popeyes and ask about Magnum Quattro. It may be one of the best tasting protein shakes you will ever have. Magnum is also proud to introduce Instincts, a new male personal performance product designed to increase pleasure and vigor both on the field and in the bedroom. Like Popeyes Kelowna on Facebook to keep up to date on sales and new products. Popeyes on Springfield across from Orchard Park Shopping Center, official supplements provider to Sun Football and the Kelowna Rockets.
When you have Big Steel Box, moving and storage are almost too easy. From kickoff to the final play, they're on your team. They'll drop the Big Steel Box off at your place, then you pack it at your pace, and when you're ready, give Big Steel Box a call to come pick up the box and move it or store it. Simple and secure. Big Steel Box is a better way to move and store your stuff. Check them out at BigSteelBox.com. Proud supporter of the Okanagan Sun.
Looking for a new beer? Been around the city trying to find a breathtaking blonde that is easy on the eyes, cool, and refreshing? Look no further. We got a cool local in your neighborhood. Introducing the newly repackaged Caribou Blonde. If this beauty sounds like music to your ears, it certainly could be. Caribou Blonde now comes with earbuds at participating retailers. Caribou Blonde. Sounds good. Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary.
If it's time for a new ride, your timing is perfect. The summer heat means melting prices at Kelowna Auction World. Come turn on the car you really want. Heat up your summer with a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles on the auction block and ready to drive home. Auction starts this Saturday at 10 a.m. at Kelowna Auction World, Highway 97 North.
I'm James Marshall from Marshall's Home Living with another shout out to businesses, organizations, and individuals that make Kelowna the best. Here's a shout out to River under the orange tent at the Canadian Tire parking lot. If you need a stone chip in your windshield repaired, he'll fix you up.
Marshall's Home Living, the best furniture for the best community, where now's the time to buy patio furniture. As Marshall's clears out all remaining patio furniture and accessories, shop now for the biggest savings of the season at Marshall's Home Living, Highway 97 at Banks Road.
Looking for fabulous food, great service, and a warm, quaint atmosphere? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the Bunkhouse Bar and Grill will fill that order. Overlooking the Orchard Greens Golf Course, the Bunkhouse Bar and Grill is the perfect place to just chill out. It's comfort food at its best, with service that is second to none. So come on, take a load off, relax, escape the rat race, and enjoy great food and good times at the Bunkhouse Bar and Grill at the top of KLO Road.
To celebrate Kelowna Motors' 72nd anniversary, we present Matt August's greatest radio hits.
Siri, what can you buy for $7 a day?
Well, Matt, you can buy a new Mazda 3 for $7 a day.
Matt talked to women.
Hey, ladies, I was told there's nothing worse than spending a fortune on your hair and having no one notice it.
And he got real.
Sometimes you gotta put the sales talk aside and tell it like it is.
Kelowna Motors, celebrating 72 years, serving our community.
We sell Mazdas. What do you drive?
I guess having an award-winning renovation is pretty neat. It certainly does make you feel proud that, you know, it's in your home and whatnot.
Shane on his Tommy Award-winning reno by Gord Turner Renovations.
We've always looked at our house as one step towards, you know, our next step. And now this is a home that they've created. And to tell you the truth, our kids will now probably only know one place for their whole childhood because it has become a home.
Gord Turner Renovations. They do renovations differently. Visit GordTurner.com.
Your child's success is important. At Aberdeen Hall Preparatory School, the small class sizes, caring teachers, and individualized attention help students reach their full potential. From preschool to grade 12, Aberdeen Hall offers an enriched academic curriculum and specialized instruction in French, music, drama, athletics, and much more. Aberdeen Hall is now accepting applications for September 2017. Space is limited.
Teaching excellence, inspiring futures, shaping character. Find out more today by visiting aberdeenhall.com.
From our team to yours, this is Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Welcome back to the Apple Bowl in Kelowna. Evan Cook, Carson Park along with you for the Okanagan Sun Westshore Rebels, who are all tied up at 14 here after the first half of play. Clock winding down here on our intermission, but want to quickly get to an interview that we did before the game here. This with Liam Crane, third-year receiver on this Sun squad. Got his thoughts on how the off-season's kind of gone and what he was looking forward to for tonight.
First question is obviously just about what it's feeling like heading into this one. Is it, I'm sure, always exciting heading into a home opener, but where's your head at here?
I think my head's still at the finals last year. Just losing like that just didn't sit well with a lot of guys, so I think it means a lot more for this game if we can come away with the W.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the question is raised when you're playing the team that eliminated you last year, and as you're one of the returning guys. Is that something that you've thought a lot about in the week heading up to this one, or what's it like?
To be honest, no. I mean, I just kind of going into every game the exact same way, try to get as many yards, as many catches, help the team as much as possible.
As far as the offense goes for you guys this year, obviously there's going to be turnover every year, but there are some key pieces back from last year's team. How's it feeling for you?
I think we're all clicking a lot faster than we normally do. I was whipping the ball, he's making reads, he just seems like he's a lot more in it, and got Curry coming back and put on quite a few pounds, just seems a lot faster, and I think he's going to kill it today too.
Yeah, I mean, what about kind of the vibe within the dressing room? Because I know some guys have been talking about how it's felt better this year, even in years past. Do you get a sense of that at all?
I think we got a lot different amount of personalities this year, a lot more calm people, so that's probably what that is.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned your quarterback, obviously he was here last year. Wasn't the guy, though, last year. Is that going to be different this year with him just getting more consistent reps?
I think like Zara was just 1 year away from just taking more reps to becoming a superstar, and he just didn't get enough reps last year, but I think this year he's definitely going to shape up to be really good.
And what about for you personally? Are there goals for you personally heading into this season? How do you kind of look at that?
I mean, I got my own personal goals, but the only goal that matters is the national championship, so that's the only goal right now.
For sure. And as you look over to the other side of the field here, we mentioned there's a lot of turnover year to year, but in terms of their group, have you guys been looking at them a lot, looking at their D a lot to prepare? How's that kind of gone leading up here?
We haven't looked too much into old film. We just kind of know what they're about, and we're just going to play our game to it.
Sounds good. Well, listen, appreciate the time here, and good luck tonight, and have fun out there.
Thank you.
That is Liam Crane of the Okanagan Sun chatting pregame about his expectations for the season as well. Tonight's game, which has proven to be a pretty entertaining one, all tied up at 14. We've got the second half approaching. We'll take one final break. Third quarter football is next here on AM 1150.
AM 1150's Business Focus. A look at the businesses that shape Kelowna. Here's your host, Tim Wolberg.
Today with Dr. Vikram Grewal of Okanagan Smiles Dentistry. Hey, why did you get into dentistry, Doc?
Well, I always wanted to work with my hands, and I always thought that medical field was the epitome of professionals for me. And so to me, it was either going to be surgery of some sort, or it was going to be dentistry. When you look into the number of years spent into becoming a surgeon versus dentistry, I think the rewards were far more gratifying and instant with dentistry than it was for surgery.
What's the most rewarding part of your business?
The most rewarding part as of now, because things have changed over the years, but the most rewarding part I would definitely say is to change perception of dentistry. Patients come with a lot of fear of dentistry to me, and they may have had bad experiences or etc., or they may just have heard from others that, you know, oh my God, you got a root canal, that's gonna hurt. And they come, and by the time they walk out of here, usually out here is like, wow, I did not know that it was supposed to be absolutely painless. That's amazing.
It's not supposed to hurt?
It's like not supposed, yeah. I would usually get that. So, like I said, instant gratification to me. Patient walks in, patient walks out, and you get that instant review or feedback from them. That probably to me is the most rewarding thing.
Do you find working with kids harder or easier than adults?
Way easier.
Easier?
Way easier.
Why?
Because their brains have not been corrupted.
I love it. Don't go to the dentist, it's going to hurt.
Or sometimes parents will do that too. Well,
Right.
Usually I'll always discourage parents from, especially if they have come really young, I will discourage parents if, say, for example, worst case scenario, a child does have a cavity. And I always inform the patients, please do not talk about anything that is going on that's about to happen within the appointment. Oh, what's the dentist going to do? Oh, nothing. They're just going to scare some sugar bugs away.
Good.
And that's it.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
Thank you very much.
Looking for a new beer? Been around the city trying to find a breathtaking blonde that is easy on the eyes, cool and refreshing? Look no further. We got a cool local in your neighborhood. Introducing the newly repackaged Caribou Blonde. If this beauty sounds like music to your ears, it certainly could be. Caribou Blonde now comes with earbuds at participating retailers. Caribou Blonde. Sounds good. Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary.
This is Okanagan Sun football. Hear it, live it on AM 1150.
Welcome back to the Apple Bowl here as we are just getting set for third quarter action between the Westshore Rebels and the Okanagan Sun, all tied up at 14 points apiece. And as I say that, the kickoff has just happened. Play underway in the third quarter on a kick that's going out of bounds right around the Sun 40-yard line, and that's what will start off our third quarter. As mentioned at the start of the broadcast, this, along with being on AM 1150, of course, is a broadcast of the British Columbia Football Conference powered by RE/MAX. So pleased to have them on board supporting our BCFC live streams throughout this season. This game, one of those here in the BCFC Game of the Week. The Westshore Rebels, Okanagan Sun, here with Carson Park. It was called the Game of the Week before this matchup took place tonight. I think it's lived up to its billing so far.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you're into defensive football. It's been a very good defensive battle going on, which for casual football fans who want to see a lot of points scored and people running around, it might be not as exciting, but I am loving it.
Former defensive guy yourself, of course, mentioned off the top of the broadcast, you played a few seasons, 2009, 2011, as a Sun linebacker on a pitch here to the outside. Couple of broken up tackles there. That looked like Kelton Curry, the back.
He fumbled it there at the ending, and I'm not sure if the ref is going to give it to him. Oh, no. Yeah, they're calling it second down. Good.
Yeah, it looked like he had just gotten down before that ball bobbled loose. But as I was mentioning, you a former defensive player. Canadian football, which at times can be known as more of a run-and-gun kind of high offensive total style of game. You're right. This has been a nice little bit of a defensive battle here.
Yeah, very. Love seeing that. Good tackling, good reading. Nowhere for offensive players to go. It's fun to watch people get frustrated.
Second down play for the Sun here. Pass to the outside. That one just behind the receiver. That was Nathaniel Anderson, who tried to reach behind him, was unable to do so. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3 here for the Sun, and it looks like they will send the kicking team out onto the field.
Let's see if we can get another big play out of the Sun special teams here. They've had a big day.
They have had a big day. A blocked field goal at one point in the first half, a blocked punt at one point there in the, well, a tipped punt at least.
Yeah.
Back to kick here is Isaac Wagner. We liked some of his punts early in the game.
There's another good one.
Yeah, there's another good one. That'll send the Westshore kick returner way back. He dodges one hit but gets wrapped up and knocked down right close to the Rebels' 15-yard line. That's Daniel Clark on the returns.
That was Ryan Uashko for the Sun. Shed a block there real well and then thought he was going to make the tackle, but he left his feet, which is the first rule of tackling, guys. You can't leave your feet. You got to keep those things running and not dive. But that first shed block was great, and it kept it contained.
Yeah, that's well spotted. Ryan Uashko, another first-year player in the Sun secondary special teams out of Winnipeg. Again, there's a lot of guys from Winnipeg involved in this game on both teams, and he is one of them. It's a first down here for the Rebels, deep in their own territory. It's a handoff play. Fumble. Ball is loose. The Sun say they've got it.
And
the official says they did too. Connor Rich.
At least on the recovery, if not on the force. It was kind of hard to see who forced that.
Linebacker Connor Richard coming in. Knocking that ball loose. And the Sun, who had the momentum at the end of the first half, have carried it forward to the start of the second half. And look at that. They've now got the football deep in Rebels territory in the red zone here. First offensive play out of the gate does not go as planned for Westshore there.
Definitely not. Especially watching games like this, I don't know how anybody can doubt the existence of momentum as a tangible thing. Like, this has been an entirely different football game from the first quarter.
Right, and it's been that momentum. It's not just the Sun. It's been felt by both teams. There is a handoff play cutting to the outside.
Now great read on that block. And and the fumble on the Sun.
Another fumble, and it's Westshore ball now.
Oh, wow. Guys got to keep that ball a little tighter.
2 plays, 2 changes of possession. Kelton Curry had dialed up a nice run to the outside there.
I think that's McPhail Silver. Looks like he's at least celebrating for the credit for it. I'm not sure who in that pile got the ball out.
Yeah, McPhail Silver, I think you're right. He's been involved all night.
Fired up anyway.
Yeah, he sure is. And with good reason, too.
We'll see if that influences that whole momentum thing we were just talking about.
Boy, what a way for the D to go out and pick their offense up after that point. You feel that momentum going, and the D goes out first play, force a fumble of their own.
Oh, yeah, that's a great callback for the Rebels.
Rebels inside their own 10 on offense here. Whew. Borden with the handoff.
Hit immediately.
Hit immediately, forcing him back towards the goal line there. Sun just swarm.
What struck me about that play is how fast that snap was. The quarterback was almost surprised by it.
Yeah, he was. And it wasn't a fully clean handoff there between Borden and Rayshon Provo.
No, I feel like that whole play got set up like a half breath too quick for everyone on the offensive side of the ball. That was...
Yeah, timing a little off there, and it is going to go for a loss there. Take the Rebels down to their own 5-yard line. 2nd and long here.
Rebels feeling very much like the Sun did in the first half.
Exactly. Borden now over the middle. Long pass is going to miss intended receiver Andre Murphy by a few yards, and so that brings up third down. A punt upcoming deep in their own territory. Sun facing a pretty good field position in the face once again here.
Something they did on that last play I'll have to pay attention to, see if they've had a shift over halftime. But they were running their cover 3 in the first half with their safety over the middle and their corners on the outside. And at least on that play, it looked like a cover 3 with their halves over the top.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's something to do with the halves, them being more comfortable with their halves covering over the top, or just incidental about that play. But I know during practice over the week, I was hearing about how their starting corners, I'm not sure who exactly players thought were going to be the starters, were banged up a bit. So might be trying to cover for that. Oh, and take a knee in the end zone for safety.
Take a knee in the end zone. A safety conceded here by Westshore. A flag is also down on the play. Referee looks like he's waving off the flag. Heard what the potential penalty was from the side judge there and just waved his official off. And so with that, safety conceded here, 16-14. The Sun now with their first lead of the football game. And not really a bad play there by Westshore to try and turn that momentum around.
Yeah, try to win the field. It's all about field position and winning that battle at this point.
And so with the 10:52, we'll take a quick break here. Third quarter action. It's the Sun 16, the Rebels 14 on AM 1150.
Win or lose, touchdown or turnover, JDS Energy and Mining is proud to support local sports in Kelowna. They believe it's important to put youth at play where they can learn to be leaders. They believe in the habits and values learned from working in a team. They believe the skills today youth learn in organized sports will strengthen our community. JDS Energy and Mining, a proud community partner of local sports in Kelowna and your Okanagan Sun.
Orchard Plaza, the perfect fit for you. Stores and services, all you need to suit your Okanagan lifestyle. When you're busy and on the go, we make your time worthwhile. So much more than just a mall. Orchard Plaza has it all. Orchard Plaza, the perfect fit for you. Orchard Plaza, Orchard Plaza, the perfect fit for you.
You're listening to Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl in Kelowna. Kickoff just happening off that safety conceded by Westshore, and that'll bring the ball on the return. It came up to the 41-yard line of the Sun on that return there. And so that's where we're sitting. Looked like Zach Newman on the return for the Sun there. Got a little less than 10 yards on that one, and that's where we sit here, first down and 10 for Okanagan on their own 41-yard line. Zyla's back to pass, throws it far side, and not too many yards after the completion there. Looks like it'll be a gain of about 3 yards up to the 45. Second down for the Sun.
Give him a gain of 6, second down and 4 at the 47.
Westshore had their one safety pretty high on that last play. I'm not sure if they thought the Sun were going to go for that home run on that or what. They sure haven't been threatening deep that often to have somebody play off that far.
Yeah, it's true. We haven't seen the Sun take too many deep shots down the field.
I think that's probably a safe move. Just keep your quarterback healthy against this dominant D-line there.
Oh, there's a pitch off of the line of scrimmage there and a run up to the Westshore 50, first down Sun. Kelton Curry.
That was a really good pitch. He threaded the needle there. I almost thought the D end was going to pick him off.
Yeah, exactly. Sure did. That was Zyla, who looked for a second like he was just going to take off with the football, looked back, spotted Curry behind him, and then flipped that ball to him. Good run for number 38.
Yeah, it's too bad those aren't passing stats for him because he doesn't have that many this game, and I feel like that earned it.
Yeah, that was a gain of about close to 15 yards or so. Nice run play
and
there.
A huge stiff arm.
Yeah, that number 25, Robbie Rodriguez in the backfield for the Sun.
Sun O-lineman down, though, face down, waving somebody on the field for him.
Brought down by Harley Cliff Delsey.
Yeah, tough to see who that is down on the field for the Sun right now.
If I was to guess, I'd say 57 Connor Novak, but I'm not 100% on that.
Well, somebody being tended to by training staff right now. We'll take the opportunity for a quick break here. 8:50 to go in third quarter action. The Sun 16, the Rebels 14 here on BCFC Online and AM 1150.
Is your Mac making the carries? Is your hard drive running the yards? Simply Computing has been around for over 30 years, almost as long as the Okanagan Sun. They know a thing or two about making sure your machine is at peak performance. Visit Simply Computing for all your Apple needs, from trade-ins to extended warranties and much more. Simply Computing has you covered. Shop downtown at 1546 Pandosy or online at simply.ca. Simply Computing, Apple specialists since 1984.
The Encore Edition on AM 1150. A replay of the highlights from the early edition with Bill and Gore. With news and information at the top and bottom of the hour. The Encore Edition. Weekdays from noon to 1 on AM 1150. News, talk, sports. You're listening to Kelowna's information station. CKFR, a division of Bell Media. We are AM 1150. News, talk, and sports. It starts here. This is Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to Kelowna as we've got the Okanagan Sun at home in their home opener. Injury down the field. It was Marshall Klein, big number 54 on the...
So that's promising.
Yeah, on the Sun offensive line there looked like he had twisted an ankle or something down there, but you're right, walking off under his own power. So hope to see him back out there. Meanwhile, it is second down for the Sun, about 6 yards to go. They're in Westshore territory on the Rebels' 46-yard line. Solid pass. There's a fake. He got hit as he was throwing. Ball is down. It should be an incomplete pass signaled, I believe, and I think that's what was
down too. I think that hurt his shoulder a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, he's up again. Crawling in pain there for a moment.
Well,
looked tangled up on that tackle.
Yeah, some part of that's got to be painful there. Always is normally for a quarterback, is they get hit in that arm as they're in the motion of throwing, which Zyla was sort of pumped once and tried to find a receiver over the middle.
Tried to just get it over that tackler's head and got tackled all awkwardly.
So a nice stop for the Rebels here. They concede that safety, give up one first down rush to the Sun on that drive, but stopped them shortly over.
Well, looks like a timeout for Westshore.
Timeout Rebels.
And that's exactly what we've got. It's a timeout for the Rebels here on an upcoming punt here for the Sun. And so that's what takes us to this timeout with 8:32 left to go here in the third quarter. A few stoppages here, but we've got to take the opportunity to take another break. We'll be right back here to Kelowna. It's the Sun and the Rebels on AM 1150.
If you don't have Crave TV, you're missing out on the best TV, including the television event of the year, The Handmaid's Tale, nominated for 13 Emmy Awards.
We only wanted to make the world better.
Better? Including Best Drama.
Better never means better for everyone.
And Best Leading Actress Elizabeth Moss.
My name is Alfred, and I intend to survive.
The Handmaid's Tale, every episode, now streaming. Find Crave TV in the App Store and get a month on us.
Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here as the punt team just out for the Sun. Another punt there that we've seen stronger from Isaac Wagner for the Sun over the course of tonight. That one rolls out of bounds close to the Rebels' 20-yard line. And it looks like the ball's going to be spotted.
Yeah, I think he probably has to work on his drop a little bit. when the kicker drops the ball for the punt, if the ball starts to rotate a little bit and you kick the nose out, it'll give that spin back motion that we're seeing a lot of. Either that or kicking it off your shin does the same sort of thing, and that's again an issue with your drop. Hopefully he can get that under control, because when he's kicking them well, they're beautiful. They're nice tight spiral. Looks like they're going where he wants them to, but he's only probably hitting 60% at that, and the other 40% are end over end. Who knows?
Yeah, he certainly had some nice-looking kicks tonight. It took the officials a while to spot that ball. That's why I was confused for a moment. It looks like they're still in conversation about where this is supposed to go. It's right up close to the 26, 27-yard line, and now we're good to go. Rebels offense on the field once again. Borden over the middle. This one swatted away. Flag comes out, though.
I think that's going to be on number 2, just because he was the one who reacted and complained quickest.
Yeah, that's fifth-year safety Beck Fullerton back there. Connor Richard with the nice swat. The linebacker in the middle for the Sun there swatted away that ball. But this penalty is going to move the ball and move those chains. Looks like the first down is being marked at the Westshore 38 right now, 37-38 yard line. Didn't see exactly what the penalty call was on that one. Nonetheless, went against the Sun. Play action, Borden up through the middle. There's a catch as he was sliding to his left. That's Nate Skeet. Believe that's his first completion on the evening here.
And I would love to see how that play is drawn up for Westshore. That was a very good play action. They had offensive linemen pulling each direction. That's going to pull all the linebackers right up and open that hole where they hit the receiver in the middle of the field. Something you don't see on play action all that often is the pulling linemen. That's another level of complexity.
So it results in a first down play here for the Rebels, who are approaching midfield at their own 49. There's a handoff up through the middle, crashing and banging just over midfield. The Rebels believe that was Rayshawn Provo again on the carry.
Quick little fullback dive there, but
ball being spotted right at midfield. 6 yards from that last line of scrimmage, so we're sitting now 2nd and 4. 7 minutes left to go in a third quarter. Only points of this quarter, we've seen a safety conceded by Westshore to give the Sun a 16-14 lead. Pitch back by Borden. This up the left side. It's Campbell on the run. He gets swarmed quickly and knocked down. Not going to get that first down. A couple yards short is Trey Campbell.
And again, very few well-done form tackles at the start, but everyone's getting a hand on him, and there's great swarming going on, so he really has nowhere to go.
Yeah, not picture-perfect tackles, but it's been enough so far. Like you say, there's been enough contacts to slow guys down where the rest of the defense can kind of catch up and, by committee, bring them to the ground.
Yeah.
There's a penalty flag, holding against the Sun.
Holding against the Sun being called here, and that's an untimely penalty to say the least, as that will be a first down.
I'm also interested on who that was on. Not often do you see defensive holding penalties on running plays.
Exactly, yeah.
Very strange call.
A strange one there. Nonetheless, a break here for the Rebels. We'll see if they can take advantage here. First down and 10 Westshore on the Okanagan 45-yard line. Receivers in motion. Scott Borden now backs up, cuts through the middle, takes a look, is well past the first down marker, slides to the Okanagan 30.
There's a big block in the middle there by Nate, number 23 for Westshore again.
Sure was. Yeah, Nate Skeet with a big block up the middle gave all kinds of time and space for his quarterback, Borden, who once he sort of ducked underneath the line there, had lots of open space to slide in past the first down mark. First down for the Rebels here at the Sun 30. Couple backs lining up behind Borden. Fakes one handoff, gives to the other. There's some space on the left side, but a nice tackle there.
That was a great tackle there by
the Sun. That was Newman stepping up. Again, a bit of a tricky play there as Borden faked one handoff, gave to the other side.
Yeah, that was a very good misdirection play. I had no idea where the ball was there for a moment myself.
It was with Nate Skeet, who had a completion earlier in this drive and gets the handoff this time. Looks like about 2nd and 5 here as the ball just past that 25-yard line in Okanagan territory. Borden back to pass this time, goes over to the left side, getting wrapped up there. Kitzman of the Sun took his man to the ground. That was Deshaun Greenaway. We saw him get some catches in the first half. Hasn't had the ball thrown his way as many times here in the second half, but a nice completion there.
Pretty much seemed to coincide with our discovering what his name was when we stopped getting the ball.
Yeah, exactly. He really made us pay there for a while for not updating that roster, but his catch, it does exactly what the Rebels needed it to do, which was get them a first down. They've got it. Ball sitting right in the left hash there on the 20-yard line. Borden now once again over the left side. And a big hit there.
The Sun defensive backs are definitely starting to read that quick hook. There were two of them converged on that, hit the receiver as the ball arrived.
That Birhanu Yitna, who also had a few completions in the first half, trying to get back in the ball game with a catch there, was hit right as the ball was coming into his hands.
Yeah, I didn't catch a second guy, but Ty Kitzman definitely laid some lumber on him there.
Yeah, Kitzman's had a few good tackles in this last stretch here, and it'll force a 2nd down and 10 here.
If he can make that a half step tighter, he can probably even get the interception off that hook.
Borden now looks to pass on the other side, look to go in between a couple of receivers. Diving play on that far side.
Receiver hesitated for a step in his route, and that cost him.
Over on that far side, it's tough to see who those receivers are over there. But it just went behind him a little bit.
I think that might be Andre Murphy, but
I think you're right, Murphy there with the attempt on that. Penalty, I think, was called on the Rebels on that one. Nonetheless, it is 3rd down, and so looks like the Sun just declined that penalty. Let Westshore get to this 3rd down opportunity, and they'll send the field goal unit on here.
It looks like that safety is, in fact, going to wind up paying off for them.
Absolutely going to be a kick of a little less than 30 yards when it's all said and done, and this would be to take the lead in this football game. 27-yard field goal attempt.
And they're calling a timeout.
And it's the Rebels that called the timeout there.
I think they had one too many players in the field.
Ooh, yeah, I think you're right. Is quickly jogging off over to the sideline there was Robert Modi.
It's going to be interesting seeing how this kick goes. Their kicker sets up a little differently than most I see. Often you do the 3 steps back, and normally I see kickers go 2 to the side to try to get the proper number of steps in. And this kicker is going 3 back and only like 1, even a half to the side. So a little different approach.
Yeah, it sure is. His backward steps are almost kind of a little bit diagonal, like he's going to the back and the side at the same time.
Well, you want to line up your kick towards the middle post, so that's pretty normal. But his, he set up a little more normally this time. The first time he set up was just fairly strange looking.
27-yarder, here it is, set a little high. The kick still up, and It's
He's
to the
wide.
left. He missed it. Wide left.
The snap was a little high. The holder had to reach for it.
Yep.
And again, wasn't quite as crisp as you'd want a snap to be.
And so with the ball going back out the end of the back of the end zone, rather, it will be a single here for the Rebels to bring it back within 1 point.
Special teams coming in huge in this game.
It certainly is. It's really been the story of this football game with 3:08 left to go here in the third quarter. Sun are now going to take over the football on their own 35-yard line. But like we saw with the special teams earlier, with the blocked kicks that the Sun came up with, there was the one snap that was a little low. That one, like you said, it was a little high. Just that split couple seconds extra that took to get the ball down. And the kick shoots wide left. So the Sun back on offense. Zyla to hand the ball off. That
swallowed up again real quick.
Swallowed right up in that line. We'll be just back to the line of scrimmage, rather, if not a loss here.
Especially with some of those pitches. I think the rushing stats at the end of this game might be a bit deceiving because they've had 2 or 3 pitches that have wound up going for 10, 15, 20 yards. But everything up the middle is just getting swallowed.
It sure is. And, I mean, we've praised the Westshore D-line for many parts of this game, both in the pressure that they've been able to apply to the Sun quarterback, Zyla, as well as swallowing up those runs. Zyla now going to his left, finds his man.
Oh, lots of space.
And he cutting through the middle. Huge gain here. Oh, with lots of space to go. And Nathaniel Anderson finally brought down at the Westshore 20.
That was an amazing play.
What a play from Anderson.
Backside receiver running down the field, blocking 35 yards downfield. That's you love to see that.
He looked like he might be pushed out of bounds near midfield, and then he takes that cut in to the middle.
Oh, just found a little seam against the grain.
Yeah, finds the sunlight. I'm trying to do the math on that run. Close to a 50-yard catch completion there between Zyla and Anderson now, I believe, is just outside the 20-yard line of the Rebels. The Sun continue this drive.
Oh.
Movement on the line here. Looked like a defender jumped.
The Westshore middle linebacker was coming in on a blitz, and looks like they finally changed the snap count up on him and tricked him real good.
And that's something that you had touched on earlier in this game when it looked like there were defenders that had that snap count down potentially. They were anticipating it pretty well, getting up on Zyla really quick.
Yeah, that's one of the harder things about being a quarterback, I think, is keeping in mind to change up that snap count. Otherwise, you get smarter defensive players, and they'll start jumping that. And if you get somebody jumping that quick enough, they'll be making tackles in the backfield before the quarterback's even sure he has the ball. Like, that snap count is a very important part of the game.
Well, here we go. Penalty to the defense, so 1st and 5 for the Sun. Zyla throwing to his right. He completes. That's to Mosley. He cuts into the outside, still on his feet, reaching for the goal line. And it looks like he's brought down just short.
Huge block there by the other receiver. I wasn't sure if that was 49 or 83. That would be Tyson Mastrodimos. What a great last name. Mastrodimos.
Yeah, Mastrodimos, who...
I think that was him laying the lumber on a corner there after the catch. That was a good block to get another 5-10 yards out of that catch.
Sure was. Mosley the beneficiary of that, but off of this play, we've got a penalty on the Sun. Offside on the Sun.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah, that one hurts a little. So really what that'll do is bring it back to the original line of scrimmage that we had before the Rebels went offside, a play before that line of scrimmage on the Westshore 23. 1st down, 10 to go for the Sun on this play. So I was going to pass it once again. Looks up the middle of the field. That one is complete. I believe that's Falconer up the middle. Bit of a scrum forming off of that tackle as well. A little bit of pushing and shoving broken up by both teams rather quickly. But a nice completion, that one to Jesse Falconer, his second catch on the day.
Got to be careful of that number 33, Espinosa Osarenko on the Rebels. He's playing a little bit of a spy there and almost got an interception underneath that.
He, one of the new players to the team this year. Coach spoke highly of him before the game. And on this play...
Quick little fullback dive. Looks like it's for nothing, though.
Yeah, the Rebels...
Drive him back 10 yards.
Yeah, the Rebels had that one lined up in a hurry, and that play not going to work out for the Sun on this one, which will open up a third down.
Field goal.
No gain on the play. It'll be third down and 3.
Third down and 3 is what the official play is. But before we get this field goal try, we've got to take a quick break because the end of the third quarter has come. The Okanagan Sun at home to the Westshore Rebels. It's the home team leading by 1, 16-15, as we're heading into the fourth quarter. We'll be back right after this.
Rona is a proud sponsor of your Okanagan Sun and a strong community supporter. They're ready to help you tackle every project you've got. Think Rona for every job, from renovating the house to upgrading the bathroom. Whether it's a huge undertaking or just a small fix-up, they have the products, the prices, and the expertise you need to get the job done right. Visit Rona.ca and tackle every project with Rona. Doing it right. 1711 Springfield Road. Proud sponsor of your Okanagan Sun.
Ford employee pricing is back at Orchard Ford, and so is their exclusive Costco offer. Right now, eligible Costco members get an additional $500 or $1,000 on most new Ford models. That's in addition to the Ford employee price adjustments. When you pay what a Ford employee pays, it's easy to get into a Ford. Employee pricing is back at Orchard Ford on Highway 97 North across from Scandia and at orchardford.com.
Under the helmet and between the 50s. This is your all-access pass to Okanagan Sun football on AM 1150.
Welcome back to Kelowna. Fourth quarter action here. Evan Cook alongside color commentator Carson Park. A field goal try coming up for the Sun. This one is going to be just shy of 25 yards, about 23 yards. Another high snap. Kick is up here, and it is good for Isaac Wagner. His first field goal attempt is a successful field goal at that. That will stretch the hometown lead to 4. It's a 19-15 lead for the Sun here, 11 seconds into quarter number 4.
The Sun's special team dominance continues.
It certainly does, because that was a very similar distance and at the same end of the field as was the Westshore field goal attempt a few minutes ago. One miss, one converted, and that could well be the difference potentially in the football game tonight.
Yeah, only one quarter left and 4-point game. They're forced to a touchdown if they want to get the lead back.
And so for the Rebels offense, as they hit the field here on their own 35, haven't been as dominant as they were early in the first half, but hoping to reclaim some of the hot play that they saw earlier in this game. We've seen little flashes here in the second half, that's for sure. Borden back to pass now, going over to the right side.
Ooh, kind of throws it into a hole of nobody there. Seems like a miscommunication of some sort.
Yeah, the pass intended for Greenaway, but...
Always lucky those don't find the hands of a defender when you have those miscommunications on offense.
And it was, Borden was throwing deep in the pocket there, and I was wondering for a second if one of the Sun defenders was going to get a hand on that. There were a couple guys that were close, but he just tried to thread that needle, and it fell incomplete for Greenaway. Second down.
Got the single receiver to the far side again.
Another pass drawn up. This one up the middle. Nice catch. Elevating, extending Deshaun Greenaway.
just seemed to float there for a second, too. Once he caught the ball, it seemed like he took a full pause before he came back down to earth.
It's almost like we dialed it back to slow motion there for a second as he was kind of leaping off the back foot. Made a great catch and a first down catch at that. And so a huge play there for number one in red. I've wanted to say number one in orange, number one in red. They're both in gray tonight. We were talking about that earlier. The Sun with their dark gray unis. A couple new uniforms being debuted here tonight, but really red is still that predominant color for the Rebels.
Yeah, the red helmet and pants. Another deep ball.
Deep ball up the right side. That one falling past the intended receiver. That's Assad Guled Sharif.
It was a great play there by Zach Newman, something I love seeing DBs do when you get a chance. Just get a hand on the receiver to let him know that you're there. And if he feels that there's a presence there, often guys struggle to keep it into that fifth gear. They'll gear down to fourth or third, and suddenly what might have been a real close catch, had they been wide open, is suddenly overthrown when really it's just on the receiver for having geared down.
Yeah, that's a great point, too, and you can look at a play like that and say...
Like, there's no hold involved or anything, just put a hand on him, just touch him, let him know that you exist, and the guys just slow down.
Borden trying the same spot on the field there. The catch made, was he inbounds when he caught it? That was Greenaway.
They're giving it to him.
They're giving it to him. Desan Greenaway with another huge catch on second and long for the Rebels. And that'll take this down inside the 35-yard line of the Sun. Another first down for Westshore. Throwing up a jump ball to big number one.
Yeah, they're definitely leaning on him in this drive here, which is something we haven't seen since the first half, and something that I think they definitely need to do more if they want to keep being successful.
Absolutely, worked pretty well in that first half. He came away with the first score of the ball game, and it's back to pass for Borden once again. This one up the middle looking end zone, and that one is just nearly picked off. I thought it was going to be an interception.
Definitely the defender had the best route on that ball.
Yeah.
And, just overplayed it a little bit and couldn't turn around for the catch.
Under the lights now on the far side of the field, trying to see who that Sun DB was. That might have been Trey Adams back there. Or it could have been a Washko, too. Looks like a 16 back there, but on the far side, but nonetheless, nearly picked off. Going to be another 2nd and 10 play for the Rebels here. Borden looks left side. That one just over the head of his receiver.
We have a flag down. I think that's offside on a receiver, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see which way this one goes.
I know on the play before that they were getting pretty close, and they're calling it, on Westshore.
Yeah, offside against the Rebels here, so this will bring up a third down situation. As I'm sure the Sun are going to decline this penalty.
Captain's just asking the sidelines what they want going on here. Decline.
Yeah, it's going to be declined, so third down. So ball down right now at the 34-yard line. Rebels going to go for it on third down here.
Yeah, I definitely think their kicking unit needs a little practice before the coaching staff's going to trust them for a kick like this.
Here's a big play in this ball game. Third down, 10 to go. They're looking far side. That one again is caught by Greenaway. You knew that they were going to call his number on that play after a couple huge first down catches.
It was an outside hook or a quick out at the sidelines, and he had to jump and then get his toes back in bounds.
But the Rebels have found that matchup where Greenaway can get up higher than the Sun corners can, and they found that, and they'll just throw that ball up for him to go up and get.
Yeah, it looks like that's what the strategy is, and the quarterback's able to put it in places only he's getting it.
A good point, too. Credit Borden, who has made some good throws here to get it to his receivers. So 1st and 10 at the 25. This one to the end zone. A couple players went down. The Sun DB was down.
Feet tangled up, Sun DB fell, and the receiver's looking for a flag.
The receiver, Skeet, was looking for a flag down there. He's not going to get one. And so 2nd down and 10 here from the 23-yard line of the Sun. How big is the field goal before to give Okanagan this 4-point cushion? You know the Rebels do not want to settle for just a field goal here.
No, definitely not, especially giving the ball back.
Still lots of time, of course, with 11 minutes to go, but...
Oh, we have some eye again. Look for some misdirection.
Yeah, we've seen this a few times from Borden. No handoff this time. Back to pass, floats one up the middle, a completion, but a big hit following that.
A great play action, but I think they're going to call somebody on holding there.
Sure looks like it.
Holding against the offense.
Yeah, holding on the offense here. As the O-line of the Rebels just wanting to give their quarterback a little bit of extra time on that play action to find that receiver over the middle. And that'll be an offensive hold here. So that'll move the Rebels back here. Will remain 2nd down. They're going to take the football all the way back to the 33-yard line. 2nd down, 20 yards to go now. See if the Rebels take a shot at the end zone or just try for the 1st down. 1st down throw here up, and the catch is, I think, made.
Oh, yeah, he's still got the ball in his hand.
He's still got the ball on that far side. Looked like Austin Lindo Brow.
Yeah, a little bit of contested catch there from the defensive back, but the receiver definitely muscled that ball free.
Nice little catch from Lindo Brow.
Oh, and we're at 3rd and short-ish. Looks like a field goal unit.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Not quite enough for that 1st down. But Borden's back on the field right now, so they're going for it.
They just have some jumbo tight end out there.
Here it is, the handoff, spinning through a tackle there for his Provo. Did he get it?
15, Rayshon Provo, the ball carrier.
Westshore thinking he did.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty tight.
Here's the 1st down.
Wonder if we might get a measurement requested.
Looks like it.
No measure.
Yeah, it looks like it here. Boy, what a big play this is.
I have the winning number. Our jackpot tonight is $502.50.
$502 on the 50-50 tonight. It's a pretty good crowd down here at the Apple Bowl, taking in the first home action for the Sun as the big all-important measurement is set to happen here. And they say no, they did not get it.
The Sun D is pretty happy about that call.
Wow.
Storming off the field here.
You mentioned the big-bodied tight end there almost for the Rebels coming in there, and a big body at that too, big strong body, and Rayshon Provo getting the football, spun away from a tackle, almost pushed his way through, but what a huge stop for the Sun.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know about that spin. You see running backs do that a lot, and to me, I feel like the spin is only really useful when you're actually making contact with the defender. And there he just kind of span off his O-line in the backfield. I wonder if he hadn't done that, if he would have been able to get that extra 6 inches.
Right, if he carried forward some more of that momentum.
Mm-hmm.
As the Sun deep in their own territory, there's a handoff cutting over to the right side, and
tripped up in his backfield.
Yeah, tripped up rather quickly there. That looks like it was Mosley again who was asked to run the football.
They really like him on those jet sweep type runs.
Yeah. Where he's cutting in.
He joins the backfield late and tries to find a seam on the somewhere around the offensive tackle, either inside or outside.
Yeah, when he's in motion, he's not running up the field. He's cutting in behind his quarterback and getting in there. And we saw him with a touchdown early on in this football game, just busting it through. Now back to pass to Zyla on second down. That one through the middle.
Oh, and he broke a tackle.
And that is going to be a first down play.
And he's going
potentially up to midfield and now finally brought down close to the Westshore 50.
Is that Mosley again?
That is Mosley again with a huge gain.
Big broken tackles on that. That's awesome. You can't be tackling with your hands. You have to get your full body on the guy.
Well, and you've talked about that earlier in the game, too, for defenses where if that first tackle misses, then it can be really challenging to stop a guy when he's got that full momentum and a lot more room to maneuver, and that's what happened for Mosley there.
Yeah, definitely. That's the one difference in the tackling is when the Sun have had their less than great tackling, there's been a lot of swarming going on, whereas right there's nobody left to swarm after the miss.
First down and 10, fake handoff, play action from Zyla there.
Whoa.
He had a man cutting down the right side. That might well have been Anderson over there, and it was just a little too far for him, but had they connected, he would have been gone.
Yeah, he just sneaked out behind that corner, but the ball was probably a couple yards, 3-4 yards too far.
Under 7.5 minutes to play here at the Apple Bowl. Okanagan Sun with a 4-point lead, 19-15. Over the rival Westshore Rebels, opening up this 2017 CJFL season. Bit of an awkward snap there and a pass right over the head of Falconer. He reached up to try and make that catch. It went off of his hands over his head. Lucky that there wasn't a DB in the backfield there to pick that one off for the Rebels. Fortunately, it went out of bounds, and we'll have a punt coming up here for the Sun.
Yeah, it looked like that ball just got through his hands. Didn't have that triangle quite tight enough. The ball, I think, might have bounced off his helmet, just not just his hands. And always happy the corner behind you doesn't find the ball in the sky.
Exactly.
Big tip drill right there.
What I meant by a bit of an awkward snap there was instead of coming up into Zyla's midsection, it kind of went between his legs where he had to reach down and regain his balance before throwing. Still made a pretty good one to Falconer, who just saw it go between the hands there, like you say. Sun back to punt, yep. That one end over end.
Into the middle of the
Caught
field,
near
too.
his own 10-yard line by Clark, who tries to get up.
Great tackle.
And a good tackle, you're right.
Mosley again. That guy's had a huge last 5 minutes.
Yeah. He was all over Clark, who tried to start cutting out field from about his own 10-yard line and found nowhere to go there.
That was a good chest-to-chest tackle. That was perfect.
So with 6.5 minutes left to go in this game, still lots of time for the offense of the Rebels to work with, but they'll have a long field to get down here, starting out from their own 17-yard line.
That's something you love to see out of your receivers, too. Good tackling on special teams. As a former defensive guy, the receivers especially drive you nuts when they're not getting physical. Seeing that physicality is a great thing.
And I mean, it's a really good way to win over points in a coach's book, too, to show that you're out there making big plays in special teams.
Oh, quarterbacks just run.
Yeah, Borden's going to keep this, make his way over to the sideline. He'll gain probably 2 or 3 yards on that play. And another second and long situation upcoming here for the Rebels. We've seen some big catches on second and long, just on Greenaway. Even last time on offense, Austin Lindo Brow with a big catch there. A big catch looking for a first down for the Rebels. So I wonder whose number is going to be called here. We see Lindo Brow making his way off the field, however.
Yeah, Nate Skeet just went on for him. So we'll see if he gets another reception here.
Greenaway lining up on that right side. Cuts to the middle, not going to get this ball. It's thrown over to the left, and a diving catch is made.
It looks like a first down.
I think that's Biranu Yitna on the far side.
That was a great throw. That's a far throw for 12 yards.
It sure is. Across his body to the far side of the field. Big first down.
Yeah, from the near hash to the far sideline on an out. That's an impressive throw.
You're right, Scott Borden making it look easy on that last play. Borden alone in the backfield. All pass on this play. Back over to that left side. It's going to go past an outreached arm, however.
The quick out in the flats is probably, to me, it's my least favorite pattern for my offense to run, because it's a very difficult throw to connect with well, and it's pretty. If the defender undercuts it, it's gone for 6 every time.
Yep.
There's nobody left to make a play. So it's a really popular route, so I'm sure it makes sense from an offensive coordinator's perspective, but personally it puts me on average every time I see it.
Yeah, for sure. It's a play that you'll see those defenders licking their chops, just reading that, trying to get up for a pick 6. Looks like Borden's arm was hit as he was throwing. The pass still complete. Whistle went to blow that one dead. That was Nate Skeet who completed that, and I think
he's short. That's only 7 yards.
An interesting play because it didn't look like Skeet was touched down. It looked like he went down to make the catch, tried to get back up, and continue the play.
Pretty sure that's the rule in this league, though. As soon as your knee's down for anything, is you're down.
And that's what it was there. So
he did try to get up and keep playing, though.
Yeah,
so.
did try to carry it forward, but not the case. So another third down play here. Third down and about 4 yards here for the Rebels. They're in their own half of the field, just past the 35. Pump fake. There's a pass. Borden is passing to nobody there. That's a miscommunication, big time. And it's going to be a turnover on downs here for the Sun, which is 3:45 left to go.
Looking for Greenaway again, but Greenaway was already stopped at a hook at 6 yards and put his hands in the air as soon as the ball got there.
And really, we haven't seen, we've seen some miscommunications tonight on both sidelines, but that one probably the most blatant, and it just comes at the most inopportune time.
Oh, definitely. The third and 4, a little surprising that he's going for that shot though too, when you only need a couple yards for that first down, and that high risk toss down the sidelines is a bit questionable.
Yeah, I guess with so much field left to go and the clock ticking down, offense trying to make a push for it. Did not work out for them that time, so we'll see what the Sun do in response here. Zyla with the keep trying to
and there's that pitch with the D-end swatting it.
And it's on the ground. Do the Rebels have it? I think they do.
Yeah, that was what I was mentioning earlier, getting a little nervous with that, finding that pitch lane. And the D-end just went and closed that lane down, and Zyla tried to juke him inside and open the lane back up, but guy didn't bite.
Yeah, I mean, he was so close to Zyla at that point.
Chris Larson out there making that play.
Yeah, big Chris Larson, number 7 on the defensive line. Using all of that 6'4" wingspan to swat that ball down. I mean, he was so close to Zyla there that...
yeah, that was a great defensive line play. That's exactly what you want is on those where the quarterback's trying to make you bite one way. If you just don't move, he'll run right into you.
Maybe that works in the first quarter, not so much right now when they've seen that a few times tonight. So a gift here for the Westshore offense. Borden back to pass left side, and that one is complete. Nice leaping catch. It's going to only be a gain of a few here. Looks like a gain of 3 or 4 yards. Wait for confirmation. I think that's Yitna over on that side of the field.
Well, announcer's calling Provo on that.
They say Provo with the catch there.
Although he is only like 30 feet from us, and I'm not sure his vision's better than ours. So.
It's a long way over to that far end of the field here, especially...
numbers on the back are somehow easier to see, too. So once the play's over and they start walking towards us again, it's harder to see that.
Especially under the lights, that glare is a little bit more as we're... Thought the referee was signaling something there, just blowing the offense in now. So it's second down, about 6, so close to 7 yards to go at this point. There's the snap. Throw over to the right side of the field. Pass is caught that time, but a nice tackle there to knock down Greenaway, who was trying to break free, but just was unable to break free from Trey Adams that time.
Yeah, that was a great tackle there. He almost missed him on the first one, but kept a hand on him and reeled him back in.
Close to a first down, not a first down, however. Looking about to 3 yards away at this point. Third down and 2 is the call from the booth right now. So yet another chance for the Rebels to continue this drive here. Clock down to 2:12 as I speak. Line of scrimmage right at the Rebels' 50-yard line. There's a handoff play trying to bust up the middle and unable to get that first down of the Rebels. That looks like a pretty clear turnover.
Some Rebels trying to point, but I don't see that being anything but a yard or two short.
Yeah, Provo looked at least a yard and a half away on that one.
Although I think they are calling the chains over. Yeah, they are calling the chains over, but I do not think this is going to be enough.
Yeah, sure, why not? At this point in the game, obviously, just over 2 minutes to go. It's an important time in this ball game. Call them over just to make sure, and we'll see if our blind eye cheated us a little here, but yeah, they're well short.
So with 2 minutes left, Sun are up by 4. That is looking pretty good for them, but this has been quite the defensive game, and no defensive points yet, which is something I sort of expected in the first half.
So
see if Westshore can do something here.
Bit of a redo for the Sun here, taking over on downs in the Westshore side of the field. Do you think maybe the offense learned a little bit of a lesson after last time?
Oh, I hope I don't see any pitches on this drive. We'll see.
Tyler's got one back behind him. Is going to give that handoff here.
Oh.
Nice cut up the middle. Still on his feet there. We've seen some nice rushes from Robbie Rodriguez tonight. That another one.
Yeah, just finding a way to shed those D linemen as he was getting through that first line of defenders, and tough yards. Every yard there is tough yards.
Give a gain of 9 and the second down in the yard.
Yeah, certainly tough yards there, as second down and 9 yards to go the call. Rather, second down and 1. Sorry, the gain 9. Second down and 1.
Sun in an eye, so expect a good lead here.
Off to that second back with lots of time and space to go get that first down.
I think they're calling the Sun on early movement, though.
That looked like Mosley again. Yeah, you're right. It looks like penalty.
Oh, are they calling that on Westshore? I know the Sun's slot back leaned quite a bit, and it sort of looked like that side of the O-line might have moved a bit, but it looks like they're calling it on Westshore.
Against the Rebels decline. The yardage is enough for an Okanagan Sun first down.
Yeah, so the Sun will decline that one, take the first down.
Sun will be first and 10. The ball spotted at the Rebels' 38-yard line.
First and 10 at the 38. Just a minute, 35 seconds left to go here. Defense needs a stop if it wants to put the ball back into the hands of its offense to try for a last-second comeback here for Westshore.
Westshore's got no safety deep. Everybody's in the box. Oh, wow.
There's a pitch back to Mosley, who's running again. He's tripped up. We'll get...
Considering how that play went, that was a really good call, because the center got driven back 4 or 5 yards and almost ran the quarterback over. That was a huge push out of the middle of the D-line.
Yeah, the D-line almost pile driving their man into quarterback Zyla on that one.
Yeah, if that was a handoff, he might have been tripped up before he even got the handoff away.
Turns around and flips it back to Mosley, who got it up just, ball spotted just short of the 35-yard line.
And 1 minute left.
1 minute left officially here to go. Big second down play here for the Sun. Flag is down in the back. Didn't see anybody moving. Does somebody have too many players on the field at this point?
Count that right now, because I don't know. I'm counting 12.
Yeah.
Not sure what's going on.
Not sure what happened there, but
ref threw a flag just before the snap of the ball.
Yeah,
something's happening.
It wasn't a timeout. It was a flag down by the official back at the goal line.
But we now have water bottles in the huddle, so maybe there has been a timeout. No communication from the refs at this point.
Yeah, that was lacking that time, but with 54 seconds left to go here, big play upcoming. Sun trying to...
It'll be real interesting if Westshore can stop the Sun here, and if the Sun can get a field goal. That'll leave us with less than a minute and a proper touchdown for Westshore to try to come back.
Absolutely. That's in the back of the Sun's mind right now is, if not first down here, at least a good position for a field goal. Drop snap, though. Zala gets back up and picks it up, but he's got nowhere to go. That will go down for a loss of a couple.
Oh, this is suddenly...
this is interesting now.
Suddenly a long field goal.
You're exactly right.
I'm not sure what the leg strength is for Isaac. I expect this is near the limit, though.
Yeah, Isaac Wagner, who kicked a field goal earlier tonight, that was from 27 yards out. This would be
from mid-40s.
Yeah,
but
considerably longer.
I don't see anybody coming out, so it looks like they're staying on offense.
No, so I'm going to stay on offense here. Clock counting down from 35. At the very least, trying to have the Westshore offense timeout now called for the Sun. And so that is called by the official. The call came from the coaches on the sideline. We'll take a quick break here. It's the Sun up by 4, 27 seconds left, right here on AM 1150.
Let's talk about golf. More importantly, let's talk about golf at Kelowna Springs. Vegas Fun Days are here every Monday and Tuesday at Kelowna Springs. It's a fun round with a chance to win free golf at Kelowna Springs and a Las Vegas holiday package. And now your first post-round drink is free, plus burger specials on Mondays and pasta specials on Tuesdays. So let your taste buds decide when you play. Vegas Fun Days at Kelowna Springs. Details at KelownaSprings.com. We're always happy to see you at Kelowna Springs. Of course.
You're listening to Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Come on, buddy.
Here we go as we're back here at the Apple Bowl, Evan Cook Carson Park, as the Sun, calling that timeout, have switched up their units. The field goal unit.
This is a punt now. They are in a punt.
They are in a punt situation.
That's sort of too bad. I was hoping to see a field goal attempt.
Playing it safe here, 27 seconds left. The kick is up. Punt is going to come down just outside the 15-yard line, forced back near his own end. There was Clark, who's going to be knocked down to the sideline.
That was a great tackle, heat-seeking tackle by Beck Fullerton, I think.
Yeah, that was Clark on the return, cut wide over to the 15-yard line thereabouts, maybe a little bit past, but no, the official's got his foot right down there on close to the 14, 15-yard line. Just no room there for Clark to go, and it's going to be 1st and 10.
14-yard line with 15.
Rebels at their own 14 are going to have to take a couple of deep shots here. 15 seconds left.
Yeah, expect the Sun to put a safety over Greenaway. At least I really hope they're aware enough to put an extra safety over Greenaway, because that is where the ball is going.
Absolutely. You see him lining up.
Yep, he's isolated on the near side with 4 on the other side.
So here it is. Borden takes a look. He goes for Greenaway. Ball is up. It is nearly picked. You can tell that Tyke Hitzman a little ticked off there that he couldn't come up with that, but at the very least he got his hands up, smacked that ball to the ground, and the clock now down to 9 seconds. 2nd down, Rebels.
Yeah, Hitzman just getting a quick little word from the coach on don't worry so much about the ball, just don't let him get it. We only have 9 seconds left.
Yeah, well said there.
That's one thing that you see occasionally, and I saw it a couple years ago in the NFL where a defensive back just tried to swat the ball and swatted it into a receiver's hand.
Yep. Defense first, that's what the Sun want here. Borden taking a look to the other side of the field now, throws a floater over to the sideline. His receiver had to come back to it. That was Yitna, couldn't make the catch.
In only 3 seconds, one more shot.
Just didn't get quite enough on that throw over to the far sideline. We were talking before about how far away that throw is.
Yeah, the CFL field, that extra 10 yards or whatever it is in width, really makes those sideline passes. That's a long throw.
It's a long throw, and was just short on that attempt. So here we go. What is sure to be the final play of the ball game here.
And they put Greenaway on the other side. So Fullerton kind of following over to Greenaway's side, lined up 25, 30 yards deep already.
Scott Borden from his own 5-yard line. Cox fires the ball up the right side. It is going to be brought down by the Sun, and interception.
That time Kitzman did bring it in.
Here's Kitzman with the interception to close out the game. His sideline mobs him on the field. And the Okanagan Sun, there were scary moments to start this game, but the Sun come back with a great end to the first half. They wind this one down in the second half with some strong defensive play. And when it's all said and done, the Sun come away with a home opening victory by a score of 19-15 over these rival Westshore Rebels. You can sure will be waiting big time for the rematch coming up all the way down in Week 11, the final week of the regular season. We'll be back to recap this game and more from the Apple Bowl right here. It's the Sun 19, the Rebels 15 on AM 1150.
A one-of-a-kind massage, innovative water care, and features to keep water hot and operating costs low. Enjoy the very best hot tub experience in a hot spring hot tub from Sunshine Pools and Spas. Let the powerful combination of massage and hot water work for you. After a long, stressful day, relaxing is easier than ever in a hot spring hot tub from Sunshine Pools and Spas, Kelowna's premium hot tub supplier, at the corner of Springfield and Spall.
Tummy pooches, muffin top, bra fat? This is Katherine Johnson from Bijou Skin Health Clinic. We can Venus freeze all kinds of stubborn lumps and bumps so you feel better about yourself. Erin, our skin guru, eliminates the areas you frown about in a safe and comfortable environment. Monthly memberships are available so you know exactly what your budget is for that great summer body. Bijou Skin Health Clinic is in the Steve Johnson Dental Center behind Tim Hortons on Cooper. Be you, be beautiful, Bijou, for less than $500 a month.
Moving day. It will change you, define you, give you purpose. You do it to test your abilities and to make little baby waves in your personal character. You will double the size of your biceps lifting boxes and clenching your fists. There is no time for rest, food, or even the washroom. So go on. Challenge the comfortable life you're living. Challenge your friends. Challenge your family. Challenge everything you've been told. Or you could just book with Beacons Moving and Storage. And relax. Your call. Visit KelownaMoveIt.com for bookings.
Win or lose, touchdown or turnover, JDS Energy and Mining is proud to support local sports in Kelowna. They believe it's important to put youth at play where they can learn to be leaders. They believe in the habits and values learned from working in a team. They believe the skills today youth learn in organized sports will strengthen our community. JDS Energy and Mining, a proud community partner of local sports in Kelowna and your Okanagan Sun.
Mr. Lube is proud to support your Okanagan Sun. You can rely on the Kelowna Mr. Lube team to ensure your vehicle is ready for those long road trips or just in-town driving with fluid and filter changes and so much more. Get fast, convenient oil changes, no appointment necessary, and enjoy full tire service with the same no appointment status. Plus, they're open late till 8. Take good care with Mr. Lube Kelowna, across from Superstore, behind Scody's, proud supporter of your Okanagan Sun.
From our team to yours, this is Okanagan Sun Football on AM 1150.
Welcome back here to the Apple Bowl in Kelowna. The Okanagan Sun, fresh off the heels of an opening week, Week 1 win 19-15 against the Westshore Rebels. It was an interesting game that ended up being a bit of a defensive battle by the end of it for sure, as we only saw really 5 combined points in the entire second half of that football game, but it was enough for the Sun to hang on for that 19-15 win. Evan Cook here alongside you for this one, along with Carson Park. We have some stats here. We're trying to make our way through them. What do we got? We've got defensive stats for both teams right now.
Right now we just have the defensive stats, and they aren't, it's a little bit rough in the paperwork here. But just looking at it, there's the Sun had a couple guys with some pretty big games. Let me just match up numbers to names here for a second. Connor Richard managed, he got his hand on the ball quite a bit on defense. He had a block, was credited with a blocked kick. He had one batted pass on a really nice deflection in the middle of the game there. And then he had the forced fumble and recovery near the end.
Right.
Which he had a huge game. And then Zach Newman, defensive back.
We said his name multiple times, didn't we?
Yeah, he was all over the field getting tackles. Looks like he led the team in at least credited tackles here. And then Westshore, you can really tell how good of a defensive game a team has had when nobody on the team has particularly, like if your leading tackler in a game has 15 tackles, you probably had a bad defensive game.
Right.
Because you're on defense the whole time. Westshore, they had 4 or 5 guys with 3-4 tackles, but nobody in the 12 to 15 range. So they were doing well keeping the Sun offense off the board, and real good balance all the way across. Not credited with as many batted balls as I feel like I remember.
And I mean, it's a good point because as much as the Sun defense came out and played a solid second half to keep Westshore's offense really out of it, save for that single point, I mean, really the same can be said for the Rebels, who kept their opponents to just the field goal, and then the safety, which wasn't the defense. So it was really quite a strong second half for them as well.
Yeah, the game really came down to just where and when the big plays happened. Otherwise, it was a very stingy game for both teams' defenses. Very little produced by either offense. And the special teams was really the biggest difference maker, where the Sun had a couple big blocks that I really do think is on the long snapper. I hate to single anybody out, but just it wasn't as crisp, and that gives the guys enough time to get that block in there. And without those, this is a very different game. I haven't seen the offensive stats yet, but I'm sure the total yards are gonna. If you ignored the scoreboard, you're probably gonna think Westshore won this game.
Yeah, it's a really good point, and I mean that, like you say, that missed field goal for them too. I mean, you hate to do any sort of hypothetical analysis here, but I mean, if that kick goes and all of a sudden it's a 19-18 game in the latter parts of this ball game, it's just got a completely different feel to it, really, and there easily could have been the Rebels pulling out a win.
Especially since the Rebels got back into not quite the red zone, but into around the 30 to 20-yard range, and had to go for it on third.
Exactly.
4 points down.
Yep.
Had they only been had they had that 3-point swing happened earlier, there's a different decision set, different decisions being made going on late in the game there. So definitely have to credit this Sun win to the Sun special teams, especially the kicking units, the snapper, holder, and kicker. Had they only been as good as Westshore, they would have missed the kicker too as well, and would have had the same problem.
Let's talk about offenses briefly. Don't have the stats right in front of us right now, but in terms of offenses, how would you rate Scott Borden in his performance? Looked like he had some pretty good chemistry with a few of his receivers, notably Dusan Green.